Welcome to this English speaking masterclass. Today, you're going to practice speaking in English for 3 hours. And along the way, you're going to learn natural expressions, advanced grammar, and correct pronunciation. Welcome back to JForrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started. First, in this masterclass, you'll practice forming sentences using many different verb tenses and different sentence structures. You'll see an image and a time reference, and you need to be creative and form grammatically correct sentences. Let's get started.
So we have our keyword every morning. Now, for our subject, you could look at the person. You could even look at the scenery and use something like the weather, or even the bike could be the subject as well. So, what could we form? What sentence could we form using the keyword? Any ideas? And notice I want you to answer out loud. Because when you say something in your head, you might think to yourself, I'm thinking every morning he or every morning she, but I'm thinking it. It's not the same because you're not practicing your pronunciation. You're not getting comfortable hearing yourself speaking in English. So I already see an example and I see lots of students. Howdy, Manfi. Do you know this greeting in English? Howdy, howdy. It's a very casual, common way to say hi. It's specifically used in the southern US, but it's used elsewhere in North America as well. Howdy. Hi, Horatio. And Anna from Brazil. Hello. Zuzi. Hello. All right. And Glenda says, I love your new look. Oh, well, thank you. I cut my hair. I'm glad you noticed it. Notice she said, your new look, your new look. Well, thank you so much. Okay, now to get to our example here. He rides his bicycle every morning for an hour. Excellent job, AK. So we have our verb ride. And of course, every morning is a keyword for what verb tense? You know this. Of course, you know this because it's the first verb tense you learn in English. Yet, it's still one of the most common mistakes that I correct from my students is incorrect verb conjugation in the present simple. But AK got it. He rides his bicycle. You can absolutely say bicycle. No, you can also shorten that to simply bike. He rides his bike. He rides his bicycle. Most native speakers say bike. He rides his bike every morning for an hour. Very nicely said. I love it. Okay, let's see. Ariel said earlier morning, he okay, he bike. So you're using bike as the verb, which you absolutely can. You can say to bike. So you can look at this picture and say that object is a bike. So that's the noun. But you can also use this as a verb to bike. But you have to look at your subject and you have to conjugate your verb. And this is why, even though the present simple is such a basic verb tense, most students still make mistakes with it. And this is why you need to practice, 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 and say these out loud as well, specifically with the subjects he, she, it. So he bikes to the ocean to see the sunrise. Exactly. Now, you can say early in the morning. I think, or maybe you meant to say every morning, early in the morning, or every morning. Okay, very nice. I like this one. He marvels. Okay, notice you forgot the L. It's VELS. He marvels at the picturesque scene every morning. Very nice sentence. So the verb is to marvel, but with the spelling, it's MARVEL. So you need that L, marvel. Repeat after me, marvel, marvel. And when you marvel at, notice that preposition, which this student used perfectly. You marvel at something, it means that you look at it with deep admiration, deep respect. So you really enjoy and admire what you're looking at. And that is exactly what it looks like this man or woman, it's hard to tell, is doing. He marvels at the picturesque scene every morning. Really nice sentence. Great job.
Are you enjoying this lesson? If you are, then I want to tell you about the Finally Fluent Academy. This is my premium training program where we study native English speakers from TV, movies, YouTube, and the news so you can improve your listening skills of fast English, expand your vocabulary with natural expressions, and learn advanced grammar easily. Plus, you'll have me as your personal coach. You can look in the description for the link to learn more, or you can go to my website and click on Finally Fluent Academy. Now let's continue with our lesson.
All right, let's try another one. Yes, and you corrected it. Here's the correct spelling. He marvels, marvels. Very nicely done. Good correction. And this is why I love doing these lessons because I love correcting you, giving you feedback, and helping you improve your mistakes. So if you're watching the replay, still leave examples in the comments because I'm happy to review them as well. So put your examples in the comments and make sure you practice out loud. And if you're enjoying this lesson and you want me to make more lessons like this, where I do give you the feedback live, we interact live, even if you're watching the replay, well, then like this lesson, subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson, and put yes, 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 just for fun. Put yes, yes, yes in the comments. Now let's see our next scene. Oh, okay. Maybe a more challenging verb tense, perhaps definitely a more challenging verb tense since 2016. So you can say 2016 or 2016. It's more common to say 2016 in my experience, just because it's easier to say 2016 instead of 2016. 2016, but both are correct. And remember, this is why it's so important to say it out loud to make sure you have that correct pronunciation as well. And notice we have since 2016. So, what does that tell you? And this is why we're focusing on the time reference, because the time reference is such an important piece of information when you're forming a sentence in English. And it's the one area I find students don't pay enough attention to. If students really paid attention to the time reference, I think they would correct most of their mistakes or learn from their mistakes as well. So, what could we say here? I've been dating him since 2016. Exactly. Very nicely done. So I've, this is I have as a contraction. Repeat after me. I've. Very soft. So to form the V, remember that your front teeth go over your bottom lip. And then you push out. I've. I've. But notice how soft it is because you don't push out the sound really. I've been dating him. So our verb is to date, and you date someone, which means you're in a romantic relationship with someone. If you're dating someone, you're in a romantic relationship with someone. And this action started in the past and it continues until now. So, what verb tense is this? You have it correct here. Of course, is the present perfect continuous. I've been dating him since 2016. Very nicely done. And Satyajit said, I've been living in New York City because we have the beautiful Statue of Liberty, which of course is in New York City, in Manhattan. I've been living in New York City, NYC, since 2016. Exactly. Very nicely done. And notice you live in a location. You live in a country. Living in, well, New York City is a city, not a country, a city. And You can write I have, or remember, you can do that contraction. I've. Excellent job. Okay. Now, this is why we're practicing as well. So I love when students make mistakes, and you should never feel bad about making mistakes because when you make a mistake, you learn and you improve. So as long as you learn from your mistakes, then it's always beneficial. You learn from them. So I've moved to US since 2016. So this doesn't work because I've moved, it's a completed past action. So you can't use since 2016 because we need an action that started in the past and continues. So technically you could say I've been moving to the US since 2016. It is possible that the act of moving started in the past and continues until now. It might be more likely to say since last Monday, for example, rather than so many years ago. But technically, you could put this in the present perfect continuous. AK said, my sister has been living. Excellent job choosing a he, she, it subject. My sister. So you always have to ask yourself, what's my subject? She. She has been living in the US. Now, notice here, the US, the United States, this is an irregular country because it requires the article the. So you can't say, has been living in US. You have to say in the US, which you did. Excellent job. Excellent. I like this sentence. Very creative, Annette. This house has been here since 2016. Exactly. And in this case, you need the present perfect because the verb to be is a state of verb. So you wouldn't have it in a continuous, but it means started in the past and continues until now. Excellent job, everyone. Such a smart group of students. Okay, this is an activity I've always wanted to do. Have you ever done anything like this? Have you? What's the activity here? And then we have our time reference as once a month. Once a month. There are other ways you could say this. You could say monthly. So add ly, monthly, weekly, monthly, yearly, annually. Annually and yearly are the same thing. Bi-weekly exists as well. Seasonally means once per season, but in this case we have once a month, once per month, or monthly. All of those could work. So, what could we say? And what verb tense do you need with once a month? Once a month. Let's see. Anna said, that man usually rides a horse at least once a month. Excellent job because the action is to ride a horse, to ride a horse. Excellent job. So that man usually is an adverb of frequency. Nice job adding that. So we need the present simple. And then I like how you added at least once a month. By adding the word at least, it means that it's possible this man does it twice a month, or 3 times a month, or 4 times a month. All right. Here's a good one. Manuela said he rides his horse once a month. And great job getting the verb conjugation. Anna said this cowboy. Exactly. So this is the word we have for a person who lives on a ranch, who owns a lot of horses, who wears a hat like this man is wearing. We call that a cowboy hat. A cowboy hat. There are also cowboy boots, which is a specific type of boot. And a cowboy is most likely to say, howdy, howdy. A cowboy is most likely to say that. So this cowboy rides his horse once a month. Very nice. Horatio said, once a month, I like to go to the countryside. I love that. Exactly. Once a month, the time reference, I like to go to the countryside. Excellent sentence. So this scene is of the countryside. Really nicely done. How about this one, everyone? Oh, we have rarely, rarely. So, rarely, we're limiting the action. So, rarely is the opposite of usually or frequently. So, we have different subjects. Now, remember, you could focus on one subject, the man or the woman, or you could focus on them as a group. So, you could say the couple if they are romantically involved. You could call them a couple, or you could just say they, the plural form of one person, but two people is they. So, what could we say? Okay, Thorvald said this man rarely brings flowers to girlfriend. Exactly, Thorvald. Exactly. Rarely brings flowers to, but whose girlfriend is it? Because remember, we want the possessive. So her girlfriend would be possessive to the woman in the image. But if you want it to be possessive to the subject is this man. So it would be his girlfriend. This is a very common mistake that I've noticed in these classes that we do together. I've seen this mistake a lot. So just remember, this man rarely brings flowers to his girlfriend because the his shows possession. The girlfriend belongs to him, his girlfriend. Oh, right. And Anna said his girlfriend rarely gets flowers from him. So excellent job because this is the opposite. We're focusing on his girlfriend. So the subject is she. She rarely gets flowers from him, from him. So she is his girlfriend. Really nicely done, Anna. Okay, and Glennis said, my husband. Absolutely. You can imagine that you are in this scenario. My husband rarely gives me flowers. Is this a reminder to all the husbands and boyfriends to buy your partner flowers? Patricia said he rarely surprises his girlfriend with flowers. I love this. So notice the sentence structure. You can surprise someone, his girlfriend, and you can surprise someone with something. So you might say, my teacher surprised us with a fun activity. Or my husband surprised me with a trip to Hawaii. Wouldn't that be awesome? I don't want flowers. Give me a trip to Hawaii. All right. Very nicely done, everyone. How about this one? Not yet. Not yet. So we have the negative, not. So you need to conjugate that with whatever verb tense you're using and whatever subject you have as well. So for the subject, we could focus on the woman who looks like a mom. It's possible she's a babysitter or a nanny or a teacher. Those are possible. Remember, be creative. Maybe she's an aunt or a sister. So be creative about who this could be. And then we have the kids here. So, and we could also look at other things as the subject to think about not yet. We could look at things in the room as well, because you can always choose an object as your subject. For example, the house, the computer, the dishes, the coffee, all of these could be regular subjects. Okay. Rennet said, not yet. Has she done her homework? Yes, so this has the base of an excellent sentence, Rennet. So great job. Let's change this around to focus on a more common sentence structure in English, which would be subject and then your verb. So she has not done her homework yet. Or you can say she has not yet done her homework. So the placement of yet is flexible. You can say she hasn't yet done her homework or she hasn't done her homework yet. I personally put yet at the end is just more common for me, but the other form is acceptable. Okay. Martina said, the bored woman. Exactly. So, bored, to be bored. Great job. So, the bored woman. Repeat after me bored. Duh, duh, duh. So, that's very softy, bored. The bored woman. The woman is bored, but bored is the adjective. The bored woman hasn't called the day yet. I think so this is an excellent sentence structure. Hasn't called the day yet. There's an expression in English to call it a day. Let's call it a day, which means that we're ending whatever task or whatever work we're doing for the day. So maybe you could say the bored woman hasn't called it a day yet. Okay. Andre said she has not yet finished her homework. Exactly. This woman, she's very busy and she's trying to finish her homework, but these kids are interrupting her. Manfi says she hasn't played with her kids yet. She has lots on her plate. Excellent job. So, to have lots or a lot on one's plate means to be very busy. So, it's an idiom to mean I'm very busy. Ashen said, this woman hasn't completed her presentation yet. Exactly. So notice we're using the present perfect in the negative, and you need to change has or have. That's the auxiliary verb. You need to change that according to the subject. So with he, she, it, you need has. All right. Excellent. What about this one? We have currently. Currently. So, what does that tell you about the verb tense that you need? And there are many subjects in this photo. So, you could focus on certain people. Maybe you could use some adjectives to describe them, although they're all wearing very similar things as well. But you could try to describe them using some adjectives. You can also view them as a group. So, this group, and in that case, it would be a collective noun. This group, the group of friends, the group of friends, or you could just say they, these people, all of those are different subjects. Again, be creative. Be creative with your subject. Okay, and what could we think? And currently, so currently, this is another way of saying right now, or currently. Right now, or currently. Those are the most common ways. And this is a clear indicator that you need which verb tense? Which verb tense? Well, let's see. AK said, couples are enjoying their vacation currently. Exactly. I might say these couples, which is really interesting because the word couple represents two people. So if you say, I have a couple of tasks to do, it means two tasks. I would like a couple of cups. You want two cups. So a couple represents two people, but it looks like there are one, two, three, four couples. and one woman not in a couple. So you could say these couples, and then you're making couples plural because there are four groups of couples. Really nicely done. Okay. Thorvald, they are currently taking a photo. Exactly. Currently is flexible as well. You could use it at the beginning. Currently, they are taking a photo. They are currently taking a photo. They are taking a photo currently. So it's flexible. And remember, you can always form that contraction with the verb to be and your subject when the verb to be is an auxiliary verb. There, there. They are there, air, there. So native speakers pronounce this in a very unstressed way. There. They're currently taking a photo. Very nice. They're currently taking a fun photo. Exactly. This is an easy way to just make your sentence a little more creative and perhaps sound a little more advanced is add an adjective, add an adverb, add something additional, an additional time reference as well. Or add another sentence. They are having a lot of fun. So, a statement. That's a great way of making a simple sentence like this a little more advanced, a little more creative. Okay. So I'm glad you wrote this because these couples, exactly. It's really interesting to use couple as plural, but you absolutely can. These couples are, so don't forget your auxiliary verb, the verb to be conjugated with the subject. Now, have, you need have with fun. Have fun. Have fun. These couples are having fun currently. All right. Cecilia said, currently, all my siblings, your siblings are your brothers and sisters. I have one sibling. But then someone could ask me, "Oh, sister or brother?" And I'd say, "A brother." "Oh, younger or older?" "Older." Currently, all my siblings, their partners, so the husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends of your brothers and sisters, and me are enjoying our holidays abroad. Excellent job. The only one tiny thing, Cecilia, in this case, you want and I because it's a subject, not an object. And I are enjoying. So, an easy way to remember is would you say me is enjoying or me are enjoying or I am enjoying. You would say I am enjoying. So you know you need the subject I, not the object me. Really nicely done. Our last one, everyone, and we will do since last week. Since last week. Okay. What could we do for this one? Since last week, you see some arms, but you don't really know who the subject is. But in that case, we could view them as a group. It could be the team, the department, the company, the office, all of those would be collective nouns and it would represent the subject it. Or you could use, of course, they would be plural, of course. So, what could we say? And we want since last week. We already practiced this one before we had since 2016. So, this will be easy because you already know what verb tense you need. It started in the past and it continues until now. Anna said, I've been off since last week. I love this. Excellent job. The team is busy at work, but not you because you've been off since last week. So, to be off in this context, it means to be off from work. So, maybe on holiday, but it's also possible that it's sick leave as well. So, we don't know, but I've been off since last week. And because it's to be off, we can't put that in the continuous. Wonderful sentence. I really love that. Fabio said they have been brainstorming. So, our verb is to brainstorm when you think creatively about ideas and strategies and how to solve problems. And you often do that with a group, but you can absolutely brainstorm on your own as well. You might brainstorm ways to improve your English speaking skills, for example. They have been brainstorming, started in the past, and continues until now. They've been brainstorming their new project since last week. Really nicely done. Great job. Manuela said the coworkers have been. So in this case, you can't form a contraction when it's the coworkers. It's just the coworkers have been making plans with an S or a plan because plan is a noun. So you need an article. A plan, the plan if it's specific, but if you add an S and you make it plural, then you don't need an article. Have been making plans since last week. Very nicely done. All right. Horatio said they have been very busy since last week. Exactly. And uh, dear Zach said, "Where were you? I haven't seen you since last week." Exactly. Very nicely done. I haven't seen you since last week. Awesome job using it in the negative as well. You can absolutely have something negative that hasn't continued for a period of time. I haven't studied English since last week. Hopefully, you wouldn't say that. Very nice. So, what can we say here? One smart student said they have just got the key for their lovely new home. Exactly. Very nice. So the subject can be they because we have two people. Now, what is she holding in her hand? It's a key, one, or it's keys, plural. Now, on the key, we call that a key ring. So that the circular piece of metal that holds your keys, we call that a key ring, a key ring. But you can absolutely just say they got the key, which is one key, or they got the keys, plural. And notice I'm using the article the because it's not just any key, it's specific keys, the ones they need, the keys they need to unlock the door and their open the door to their new home, to enter their lovely new home, their lovely new house. You can call it a house or you can call it a home. A home represents the location where someone lives. It could be a condo, an apartment, it could be a tent, any type of structure, any dwelling. If you live there, you call it your home, whereas a house represents a physical type of structure. All right. Now here, this is where it's fun because we can have one picture, but then we have different perspectives of the same thing. So Caroline said they have just got rid of a house, got rid of a house. So the expression here is to get rid of. I'll be honest with you, Caroline, we generally don't use that in the sense of selling a home because when you get rid of something, you permanently eliminate it, but it's more because you don't want it or don't need it anymore. It's not really a transaction of buying and selling, although it is possible to use. It's just not the most common way. I would say I would use the verb that you can see on the screen here in the picture. They have just sold and either a house, meaning any house, or their house, because the house belongs to them. You could also use the house representing a specific house, the house that they own, for example. Okay, Horatio. Oh, I just found these keys on the sidewalk. Exactly. And this is where I love these exercises because it shows how creative you can be. We have three completely different interpretations. An interpretation is how you interpret, how you see the situation. So the noun form is interpretations. We have three completely different interpretations. They're just walking by the street. Oh, look, I found these keys on the sidewalk. The sidewalk is the area of the street that's designated for pedestrians. A pedestrian is someone who is walking, So, not the cars, the people walking. I just found these keys on the sidewalk. Exactly. Awesome job, everyone. Okay. And here, Beauty Solutions said they just bought a new house for the first time. For the first time. Exactly. I love that. For the first time. Let's take this. What about you? What about you? Is there something that you have recently done for the first time? Hmm. Put it in the comments just for fun. It could be anything. I baked a cake for the first time, for example. So share an example using for the first time in the comments. And notice they just bought. They just bought. So remember, everyone, just means it happened recently, but it depends on the time reference you're in. If I'm talking about my morning and I say, I just ate breakfast, well, because the time reference is short, it could be 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. But let's say you're in the workplace and you say, I just got promoted. That could have been 6 months ago. But in the span of your 10-year career, 6 months sounds recent. So there isn't a set definition of when just is, but it's recent compared to the timeline that you're talking about. Another interesting, clever, I can say clever. Clever means smart, but yeah, clever is another way of saying smart. So this is a clever example. It's a smart example because it's thinking of something less obvious. But what do we need to do with your verb? They just made a copy because it has to be in the recent past. She's holding the keys, so the action has already been done. They just made a copy of their lost keys. Exactly. Exactly. They made a copy of their lost keys. Very clever. Very clever. Okay. All right. And Goddess says, I have traveled for 16 hours by myself for the first time. Exactly. Excellent job, Gada. And that sounds like a journey. A journey. Wow. 16 hours. Congratulations. Okay. And Stefania says clever means intelligent. Exactly. Smart, intelligent. So someone might say, oh, that's a clever method. That's a clever answer. That's an intelligent answer. Okay. Aurelie said, I just cooked cake for the first time. Oh, congratulations. Just know with cakes, with baked goods, we use the verb bake. So you bake a cake, you bake a pie, you bake muffins, but you cook chicken, you cook fish, for example, you cook vegetables. But the category is actually called baked goods. So bread, cookie, pie, pastries, you bake them. You bake them. Okay. So Rise said, I just buy new car, but remember, recent past, I just bought a new car. I just bought a new car. Okay. Manuel, I just called to say I am here again. Exactly. In this case, actually, just is being used in a different way. And native speakers, including myself, use this a lot. To be honest, I would say we overuse this word. I'm guilty of overusing the word just, not in the recent past. In this sense, it means I only called the only reason why. So I'm letting you know there's one reason or a small reason. Oh, I'm just calling to let you know. I just went I just called her to say goodnight, things like that. Okay, everyone, excellent job. Very clever answers for all my students. Let's keep going. How about this? Ooh, about to. I taught this in my lesson on Monday, the structure about to, about to. So we need a subject. There are two people here, so you can focus on the couple, they or she or he as the subject. And we need about to. So think about the time reference and think about the grammatical structure. Anissa said, they're about to have a baby. Exactly. And then you could definitely say, probably not looking at this picture, but let's say a week later, they could call you and say, we just had a baby. We just had a baby. So, about to is in the recent future, but notice the sentence structure. You use about and then you use the infinitive to have. And you're correct in also using the verb to be. They are about to have a baby. And then that's in the that's in the near future. And then in the recent past, we just had a baby. My wife just gave birth, for example. Okay, Philippe, she's about to give birth. Exactly. So that's another way of saying have a baby, but give birth is the actual the process when the baby leaves the mother. I like this one. Oh, sorry, I didn't click it fully. So Louise said, "They're to be parents." Exactly. But just don't forget the key word here. They are about to be parents. So to be parents. And then they, the verb to be, are. And then about. They're about. They're about to be. And notice that pronunciation of the contraction. They are. Everyone repeat to me. There. Repeat after me. There. They're about. They're about to be. Now, when you have about to, so notice how I don't pronounce that T on about because there's already a T on to. So repeat after me. About to. So I go about to. About to. So when I push out the to for about, I say the word to. About to. Repeat after me. About to. Oh, Horatio, I really like this one. Their lives are about to change forever. Exactly. They're about to change forever. Very nicely done. And exactly, you can use this for any situation. This is something you will use as part of your daily speech. Also, just, you will use the recent past with just every single day. I certainly do. And you will also use about every single day, most likely in your speech. The movie is about to start. Hurry, get the popcorn, get the drinks. The movie is about to start. Okay. What do we have next? Oh, okay. Seldom. What type of word is this? Seldom. And then we could be talking about something the man is doing, or we could be talking about something the woman is doing, or we could be talking about something in general just based on the situation of this picture. And seldom is an adverb of frequency, and it tells us that we need which verb tense? Say it out loud. The present perfect. No, the present simple. Sorry, everyone. The present simple. And yes, Philippe, it's the same as rarely. So rarely, seldom, they're the same. You can use either one. So let's review the pronunciation. Seldom, dum. So notice the om is not a strong it's seldom, seldom, seldom. And the pronunciation of the word on the screen as well from Philippe, Rarely. Rarely. You can use either one. They mean the same. So remember, this is a keyword for the present simple. And um Luigi, no, seldom is not often. It's the opposite of often. So often and then seldom and rarely is the opposite. Okay. It's so if this is never at the lowest, so always, never, seldom, rarely is just above never. Okay. And then often is just above or just below frequently, usually. Okay, so Luigi said, I seldom go to the restaurant. I seldom go to, because you go to a location. I seldom go to the restaurant. Exactly. So you don't do it often. Remember, it's the opposite of often. Okay, seldom do they eat vegetables. Very nice, Hari. Now, it would sound better to say they seldom eat vegetables. So your subject, your adverb of frequency, in this case, seldom, and then the action. They seldom eat. So that's the action, the verb. They seldom eat vegetables. They seldom eat vegetables. Okay. I saw one here that I wanted to share. Omarian said, Sarah, this woman, I love how you gave her a name. That's always very creative to give people names. Sarah seldom buys street food. So, do you know that concept of street food? Street food is food you buy. Of course, it's more on the street in the sense that it's not usually a restaurant where you enter and there isn't usually seating in a restaurant. There could be some tables and chairs, but it would be outside. And then this is also open to the outside. So the outside is all around them. That would be the category of street food. Now, if it is in a physical structure, we can call that a food truck, for example, a food truck, if it is in a truck. Okay. Oh, this is a great one. Sima said, I seldom eat spicy food. Exactly. And Rose, I seldom buy junk food to keep in shape. Yeah, exactly. I seldom buy junk food in order to keep in shape, to keep in shape. Exactly. Very nicely done. Okay. So Manuel, same thing. Instead of seldom does she eat hamburger, it'd be she seldom eats hamburger. But today she's in a hurry. Yeah. Oh no, I'm in a hurry. The meeting is about to start. So I need to quickly grab a bite. Grab a bite. That would be a great expression to use with a food truck or with street food, to grab a bite. That's when you get something quickly. Oh, let's grab a bite before the meeting. It's about to start, for example. Or someone might ask you, are you hungry? And you can say, oh, I just ate. I just ate. Ate in the recent past because you used just. All right. Awesome job, everyone. Very creative. What about this? Ooh, not yet. Not yet. What can we do here? So we have an activity. What's the activity that he's doing? What's the activity that he's doing right now? Who knows? He is. So we can say the activity that he's doing. He is, who knows? And then we have to think, okay, not yet. Not yet. All right. And Blackwater, yes. Thank you for summarizing. Seldom means rarely or not often. Infrequently, exactly. He rarely visits his relatives because we want the subject, the adverb of frequency, and then your verb. Now, because it's he, you need to add that S just like you did. Perfect. Thank you so much for summarizing that, Blackwater. Yes. And exactly. Doing dishes or washing the dishes. So absolutely washing the dishes, and then native speakers generally just use the verb do as a replacement doing the dishes. Oh, and Akam said drying. Exactly. It looks like he is drying the dishes. You're right. Very nice. Okay. So remember, that is what he's doing, but we want a not yet action. So what could that be? What could that be? Hakim said, I haven't started yet. Exactly. You could say that. I haven't started yet. But what is started what? Started what? Hmm. Okay. Now, John, you have a great start to a sentence. We just need to work on the sentence structure. So, not yet. And you're right in the sense that washing dishes, drying dishes, or just the general term doing dishes. And in this case, you can use the dishes to mean the specific dishes that are dirty, the dishes in the sink, or you can omit the article. And native speakers usually omit the article and just say, "Oh, I'm doing dishes. I need to do dishes." But someone could say, "Can you help me do the dishes?" So native speakers replace washing or drying with simply do. But for this case, you would want the present perfect in the negative. I haven't done chores yet. I haven't done chores yet. Okay. And Martina said, my brother, excellent job using a subject. My brother hasn't. So in the present perfect, we use has with he, she, it. He hasn't, has not. Repeat after me, hasn't, hasn't. My brother hasn't cooked the dinner yet. Exactly, exactly. Very nice. Dan's case said he has not washed the dishes yet. Exactly. Now you can say has not, and then as the contraction, which native speakers use in spoken English, hasn't. Hasn't. Okay, excellent job. Ooh, Omarion said Mark hasn't yet finished washing the dishes. Yeah, the placement of yet is flexible. To be safe, you could always say Mark hasn't finished washing the dishes yet. So if you're not sure where to place it, it's safe to put it at the end of the specific clause, because this might be part of a complex sentence where there are two clauses, but at the specific clause you're using. Okay, excellent job, everyone. Wow, we have so many examples. That's great. Okay, so Monsoon said, I haven't written my email yet. Exactly. So I haven't written my email yet. And everyone, remember, because this is in the present perfect, it means you still have time to write the email, to cook dinner, to wash the dishes. All right. Excellent job, everyone. And Mr. Speed said, I have taken up new hobbies. Not yet. Okay, so where will we make this negative? You take have and then you make the negative. I haven't taken up new hobbies yet. And if you take up a new hobby, it means you start a new hobby. Excellent job, everyone. Oh, what could we have here? So we have a crowd. That would be the name of all the people here. This is a crowd. This is conjugated as a collective noun. So this is conjugated as it. The crowd, it. Now, you could also focus on a specific person in this crowd. So you might say the man in the blue shirt, the man in the middle in the blue shirt, the man on the right in the orange shirt, for example. Or you can just refer to it as the crowd or the people. People is the plural of person. So people is conjugated as they. And we have now, which is an easy one for you, I'm sure. This is taking place right now. Okay. Dan's case said the concert is about to start now. Exactly. Very nice. And Philippe said they are happy now. Exactly. Exactly. Very nice. The meeting, or sorry, the concert is starting now. Very good. The crowd is cheering up the singer on the stage. Yeah, and just add now. Now, cheering, oh, okay, I see. So if you cheer up the singer, it means you're making the singer happy, right? So right now, if I'm a little sad, you might do something to try to cheer me up, to make me happier. Maybe you say something nice in the comments, or you just give me a hug, something to make me happy. But the verb to cheer is like this, woo. So that is cheering, but to cheer up, to cheer someone up means to make someone happy. So it is possible the singer is upset. Maybe she broke her guitar and the crowd is trying to cheer her up. It's okay. We'll wait for you. Don't worry about it. Interesting. But you can also say, the spectators, so plural, right? They are cheering. Very nicely done. So people who are watching something, a movie, a sports game, a concert, a parade, they are spectators. Spectators. All right, very nicely done. And cheer. Woo, you got this. Cheer. All right. Oh, isn't this adorable? Well, I certainly think it is, at least. But remember, we see something taking place now, but that isn't the keyword. The keyword is since last week. So you have to think about, well, what could be an action that started in the past and continues until now? Because that is the time reference of since last week. So this sounds like it's been taking place for a minimum of 3 days or 4 days, 5 days since last week. Okay. So don't just think about what you see in the picture now. We need something, an action with the continuation, and it started last week and it's still taking place now. All right. So since last week, I've been traveling with my dog. Exactly. Very nice. I've been traveling with my dog. So right now, she is not at home. Ah, now this is a good one. And Yvette, I was hoping someone would say this so I could correct it. Because when we have an action that happens at a specific moment in the past, there's no continuation to getting a puppy. That happens at a specific time. For example, we got the puppy on Monday, October 2nd. We got the puppy at 9 o'clock a.m., but there's no continuation to that action. So think about something that would have a continuation, started in the past and continues until now. Okay, Glendis, this absolutely works because a negative action can start in the past and continue until now, but you need the present perfect. She hasn't kissed her puppy since last week. She hasn't kissed her puppy since last week. Very nice. Okay, same thing, Luis. We need the present perfect. Emma hasn't seen her pet since last week. Exactly. You can absolutely say that. Monsoon says she has been playing, present perfect continuous. She has been playing with her pet since last week. Exactly. Very nicely done. Okay, I haven't seen my little adorable Mike since last week. Exactly. I haven't seen him or her since last week. Very nicely done. Okay. Yes, exactly, Haval. I haven't seen my sister since last week. Maybe this has nothing to do with the dog. Maybe it's just the woman. She owns a dog, but the point isn't about the dog. The point is that Haval hasn't seen his sister since last week. Very nicely done. I like that. Clever. Very clever. Okay. Excellent job, everyone. Hussein said he was taking time with his dog since last week. Yeah, but we want it in the present perfect. He has been taking time with his dog since last week. And to be honest, I would change take to spend. He's been spending time with his dog since last week. When you spend time with someone, it means that you socialize with someone, and you can absolutely spend time with animals. So he has been spending time with his dog since last week. Very nicely done. All right. Excellent job, everyone. Wow, there are so many comments here. This is amazing. Okay, Philippe says, I have not seen my love since last week. Is she forgetting me? Exactly. Yeah, Siddharth, exactly. It has been raining since last week. Yeah. So, whether or not it's raining in this picture, but we could imagine it has been raining. The action, it started in the past and continues until now. It's been raining since last week. Exactly. Exactly. And I love P says, my friend hasn't been talking. I think you wrote taking, but I think you meant talking. Hasn't been talking to me since last week. Exactly. You can have it in the negative as well. Very nicely done. He has been spending time with his dog since last week. Exactly. Very nice. Sarah, I haven't cleaned my room since last week. Exactly. Exactly. So this is, you could say, I just cleaned my room for a recent past action. I rarely clean my room. I haven't cleaned my room since last week.
Amazing job. Now you're going to learn common idioms to sound fluent and natural. And you'll learn these as a quiz. How many do you know? Let's find out.
So here's your first common idiom. Now, notice there is one word, or maybe two words, or three words, because remember, an idiom is a specific group of words that has a specific meaning. Now, this idiom has the meaning extremely happy. So, what is the missing word? She's over the. Does anyone know? I'm sure you do. I see some of my students have the answer in the comments already. And hello to all my students joining live. Hello, Hadaki. Hello, Omarion. Hello, Christoph, Julia. Hello, everyone. Luis, Jessica, Rita, Desire. Hello, everyone. Horatio. All right. And to all my students watching the replay, hello to you as well. To my students watching the replay, make sure you participate, say the answer out loud, and we're going to practice at the same time. So Julia knew the answer, over the moon. Did you know that? Now, remember with idioms, it's extremely important that you have each part correct. So we know our verb is the verb to be, like Omarion has, she is, as that contraction, she's. Everyone repeat after me, she's. And then what do you have to do with your verb to be, depending on the subject or the time reference? Change it, conjugate it, of course. So if it were I or we, you would have to change that. And you have to know the other parts that make up the idiom. So it's over the moon, over the moon. It's not a moon or this moon or on top of, for example, and it's not moons plural. If you make one mistake with an idiom, the meaning will not make sense. So, Julia, for example, you're practicing a different expression, but the other expression is not over the cloud nine. And this is why idioms can be tricky, because if you make one mistake, it doesn't make sense. So, over the moon, does anyone know what the correct expression using cloud nine, the correct idiom meaning using cloud nine? So we need to change the first two words, and it has the same meaning. So you can absolutely use that. Hidaki knew over the moon. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, wow. She's on cloud nine. Exactly. On cloud nine. Exactly. So, not on clouds or cloud eight or any other changes. You cannot make any changes idioms. So even this one, Paulo, the cloud nine, unfortunately, that's incorrect because it doesn't use the article the, but over the moon, that's correct. Okay, everyone. So let's now practice. You know the correct idiom. So now it's your turn to practice. I want you to say it out loud to practice that pronunciation. You do not have to use the subject she. So you can change the subject to practice, and you can also try conjugating it in a different time reference, perhaps the past simple. And you can connect this to provide the reason with the word because. There are other sentence structures you can use, but here's one to get you started. And maybe you can get inspiration from this picture. Why is she over the moon? Extremely happy. She's over the moon because, and then you can provide your reason. So, again, practice in the comments. We need to practice this idiom, practice the pronunciation. And for all my students watching the replay, I want you to practice as well. So, what's the reason? Why is she over the moon? And remember, if you want, you could also practice that expression to be, the verb to be on cloud nine, exactly like Hidaki has here. She's on cloud nine. Okay, so Marion said she's over the moon, over the moon. She's over the moon because she's with her best friend. Exactly. Do we need a bigger reason than that? Isn't just spending time with someone you love a great reason to be extremely happy? Okay. Yes, you can also say, Octam, you can also say on top of the world. So notice you need on top of the world, on top of the world, on top of the world. You can absolutely use that. And it means extremely happy. So now you have three idioms for the price of one. Okay. She's over the moon because she, so not when is in the present simple, and also it's not conjugated with the subject. So it's not the correct verb tense. We don't want the present simple, but if we did want the present simple, it's not correct because she wins. She wins. Okay, but we don't want the present simple. We want is it completed past action. She's over the moon because she won the lottery. Exactly. Oh, and Alexander added to that. She won in the green card lottery. Exactly. She's over the moon as she's getting her dream job. You can put this in the present continuous. Just make sure you conjugate it correctly with the verb to be as she is getting her dream job. You could put it in the continuous because it sounds like it's in progress. She's filling out the paperwork. It's not 100% complete. Okay, excellent job, everyone. Tarar said, because she has bought a new car. Exactly. All right. Hidaki said she's over the moon because her sister is visiting her in a foreign country. How fun is that? Traveling together with your family. Okay, she's over the moon because she met her friend after a long time. Very nice. Excellent job, everyone. Woohoo. Now, how about our next idiom? So, we already know three idioms now to mean extremely happy. So, practice all three idioms and make sure you pay attention to that sentence structure as well. How about this? Ooh, we're on the same meaning there's a shared understanding or agreement. So perhaps I suggest we have our live lesson at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. And everyone agrees. Everyone says, yes, that works for me. That's the correct time. That's the best time. So we're on the same. We're on the same. We have a shared understanding or agreement. Okay, a lot of my students have awesome examples here. Hadaki got it on the same page. Harjeet, you're thinking of a different idiom that uses same. I'm glad you said that though, because there is a different idiom that uses boat and same. Does anyone know what that idiom is? Tahar got it. Dudane got it. Oh, so this student also same boat, but it's not on. The preposition needs to change for that expression, but it also doesn't have the meaning of shared understanding or agreement. Okay, so the meaning is different and there's a slight change to the idiom as well. So, page, we're on the same page. So, again, it's not pages, it's not we're in, similar. So, we cannot change any of the words. All right. Excellent job, everyone. Now, let's practice this. We're on the same page. You can connect this with the preposition about. And then after about, you would have the topic about something, or it could be a verb. Now, if you use a verb, what do you need to do to that verb? It needs to be the gerund, the verb in ing, because about is a preposition. We're on the same page about. What could it be? You could use this picture as inspiration. And remember, because we're still using the verb to be, we are, we're on the same page. We're on the same page. Then you would need to conjugate that verb to be with your time reference and the subject. Okay, so absolutely Merck's Rencio, our new project. We're on the same page about our new project. So imagine you're discussing the project, the timeline, the budget, the requirements, the start date, the end date, all of the different things. And everyone says, "Yep, I agree. Yep, that sounds good. Yep, absolutely." Now, you could be on the same page about not doing something as well. No, we shouldn't do that. I agree. We shouldn't do that. So there's still shared understanding about not doing something. So we're on the same page about our new project. Excellent example. Great job. Okay, here we have an example with the gerund verb because remember, like I said, about is a preposition. So you need your verb in ing. We're on the same page about visiting John at the hospital. Exactly. Now, like I said, this could mean that everyone agrees to visit John, but it could also mean everyone agrees not to visit John. Maybe you feel like John needs to just rest and not be disturbed. We're on the same page. So it is possible as well. All right. And France says, I'm over the moon because I found this channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I'm over the moon because I have such amazing students. I truly feel that way every single day, especially with these live lessons. Now, if this is a perfect time to ask you, please, if you're enjoying this lesson, please like it. It really supports me and it supports my channel. So if you do get value from these lessons, if you feel like all my lessons are helping you, it's a very small thing you can do to support my channel and support me so I can keep making these lessons for you. So like this lesson, subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson, and put yes, yes, yes if you're enjoying this lesson. If you want more live lessons, more lessons like this one, put yes, 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 yes. So I know. All right. Pan likes the lesson. Stefania, Hidaki, Horatio, it's Pipe, Louise, awesome. Rose, Alexander. That's Amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. It truly means a lot. And I'm over the moon that we're all on the same page. Okay, now let's go to our next idiom. I got promoted out of, out of, unexpectedly, without warning. Out of, and remember, there could be one word missing, two words, three words, four words, five words. There could be multiple words missing. Okay. So it's not only one word. Potentially, it could be one word. I see lots of students commenting with one word. So here's my clue to you, it's two words. Two words. You need two words. Oh, I see some of the correct answer here. All right. Awesome job. This student got it. The blue, the blue. So a lot of students just commented blue, which is correct in the sense that it's part of the expression, but you couldn't say out of blue. I got promoted out of blue. No, that's not correct. Because remember, with idioms, you need every part, and it's a group of words that form a meaning. And Rita got it. I got promoted out of the blue. And Hidaki, out of the blue. Now, notice how that sounds, out of. Native speakers often combine these sounds together and say out of the blue, out of the blue, out of the blue. You don't have to do that, but I'm just sharing this because it will help you understand fast English that you hear in the real world. All right, awesome job, everyone. Now, let's practice. I was hiking and something happened out of the blue. Okay. So something happened unexpectedly, without warning, out of the blue, out of the blue. What happened? So notice something happened, happened. What verb tense do you need? I was hiking. So that's an action in progress in the past. So you could say yesterday. You could even say earlier this morning, because even if it's 5 minutes ago, it's still in the past. I was hiking earlier this morning, yesterday, last week, last month, on Monday, but Monday is in the past. I was hiking and past simple, something happened. What happened? Out of the blue. So this is your chance to get creative. All right. Ooh, Stefania, I was hiking and a wolf appeared out of the blue. Exactly. So you're hiking and you see a wolf unexpectedly, without warning. A wolf appeared. Excellent sentence structure. All right. This student said, a wolf started running towards me out of the blue. Exactly. Nice sentence. Nice job expanding that, adding more information. What was the wolf doing? Really nicely done. Okay. Manuel said the wolf showed up. Exactly. So that's an alternative to appeared. The wolf showed up out of the blue. The wolf appeared out of the blue. Exactly. And you're right. It means suddenly, suddenly. But suddenly is also important that it means without warning. Okay. Without warning. And Sunil, wolf appeared out of the blue, but apparently it was a friendly wolf because now you're cuddling it. Okay. Excellent job, everyone. Woohoo! Great job practicing. Everyone is so smart. You know how to use these. Jessica said, I was hiking and it started to rain out of the blue. Exactly. This is a great one. I really like this. It just noted, I think this was a typo. It started, so we use the impersonal third person singular with weather events. It started to rain out of the blue. This is great choice because it means that it was a clear sky and then Just like that, it started raining. So it happened suddenly and unexpectedly. You checked the forecast before, it wasn't supposed to rain. Excellent job. Yeah, Ashen said, I was hiking and met my friend out of the blue. Exactly. That's a great one. Woohoo. I like this one too. A wolf howled out of the blue. Exactly. So howl, oh, that would be howl. Yeah, very nicely done. You weren't expecting it and it happened very suddenly. Paulo, I was hiking and a beautiful dog appeared out of the blue. I like this one, Rita. I was hiking and a rainbow appeared out of the blue, so I had to stop and enjoy it. Do you know the expression in English? Does this translate in your language? Stop and smell the roses. To stop and smell the roses. This reminds you that you should stop to notice these daily things that happen, like seeing a beautiful flower, seeing a beautiful cloud or sunset, or a rainbow in this case. All right, everyone. Excellent job. Now, our next idiom in the form of a quiz. Can you give me? Can you? So this translates to, can you help me? So remember, there is a minimum of one word missing. There could be two, three, four, five words missing. And that's to complete this. Think of all the words you need to make this grammatically correct. Oh, my students are so smart. So smart. Am I making this too easy for you? How could I make this harder? I feel like we need it to be more of a challenge. But even if it isn't a challenge, still just practicing these, using them, remember, speak out loud as well. So Manuel got it. A hand, a hand, a hand, which you can literally see in the picture as well. So all my smart students got this. Butterfly, a hand. So grammatically, this is correct. Can you give me some help? You could say that. Can you give me some help? Yeah, for sure. A hand. Yeah, so it's pipe, hand. You're correct. Just remember the article as well. A hand, a hand. So exactly like Maprang has. Can you give me a hand? Oh, right. And you, Donna, said, excuse me, can you give me a hand, please? Exactly. You could add on a few words to make it sound a little more polite. So let's practice this. To continue on in a sentence, you could say, can you give me a hand with? Now, if you use with, you would use something, a noun, or you would use a verb in ing. Can you give me a hand with? And then an action, a verb in ing, because with is a preposition. Another common sentence structure is, can you give me a hand and? Now, if you use and, you could use just the base verb and do something specific. Okay. So it's one or the other, and they're different sentence structures. With something or the verb in ing and base verb. Okay. So here we have one with something. This project is a something. Can you give me a hand with this project? Excellent job, Ashen. Okay. Okay, so if you say, "Can you give me a hand with some money?" It remember that translates to, "Can you help me with some money?" But it's missing an action. Can you give me a hand and lend me or and give me some money? So I wouldn't use with, I would use and then the verb. And lend, which means temporarily, you will return the money, or and give, which sounds more permanent. And give me some money. Okay. Habumbisha said, can you give me a hand lifting this luggage, please? Exactly. okay, so for this one, I would say, can you give me a hand and lift this luggage, please? So luggage is always singular. This luggage. Can you give me a hand and lift this luggage, please? Okay. Recop said, "Can you give me a hand and arrange the stuff?" Exactly. And do. So the base verb and arrange the stuff. Very nice. Very nice. Can you butterfly said, "Can you give me a hand with packing my stuff?" So stuff is also singular. So, of course, there's many different things. Things is plural or singular. One thing, two things. Stuff is a collective noun. Luggage is a collective noun. So we don't add an S to it. Excellent job, everyone. Hidaki said, "Can you give me a hand with unpacking my stuff?" Exactly. So unpack, taking them out of the boxes and putting them away. Very nice. Whoa, excellent job, everyone. Can you give me a hand with unpacking? Patricia asks. With unwrapping. Yes, you unwrapping for sure, because notice how it's wrapped in bubble wrap. So that's the word. So unwrapping would be the opposite, to remove the protective layer, which in this case is called bubble wrap. Very nice. Excellent job. Okay, here. So Anissa, just remember, can you give me a hand and carry? So and plus base verb and carry my baggage. Yes, exactly. Baggage, luggage, both of them are collective nouns. Very nicely done, everyone. All right, let's move on to our next one. I got a promotion, but if I accept it, I have to move. I'm between a rock and a hmm. So this means the idiom I'm between a rock and a means you're in a difficult situation. Okay. So this sounds like the promotion is good because obviously more responsibility, more money. But then if you move, it sounds like you think that's a bad thing. You have to leave your family, leave your friends, leave your comfort as well. So it's a difficult situation. Do I move? Do I accept the promotion? If I don't move, then I don't get the promotion. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? I'm between a rock and a. Oh, here's a more challenging one. I like this. I like this. We have some difficult ones. We have some interesting examples, but we also have the correct answer as well. Oh, I like this. I like this. It's not a boulder, but excellent guess. It's not a fence. Excellent guess. It's not a stone. Excellent guess. But we do have the answer, the correct one, which is Belize, got it. A hard place. A rock and a hard place. Although, to be fair, a stone, a mountain, a fence, a boulder, all of those make sense, but it's just not the expression. The expression is, as Sunny said, I am to be. So our verb to be, I am between a rock and, oh, you just forgot one word, Sunny. A hard place. A hard place. Okay. Okay. I'm glad I challenged you finally. So now that you know the full expression, it's your turn to create the situation. So remember, you want a situation where there's probably two decisions to be made. But it's a win lose situation. So if you choose option A, you win with one thing, but you lose with another thing. If you choose option B, you win with one thing and you lose with another thing. So it's a win lose situation. It's not a win win situation where you benefit in both situations. Okay. It's a win lose. So, what could the situation be? Hmm. We need some sort of situation. Let's review this again because it was in this situation, there are the two choices: accept the promotion, move. Accept the promotion, move. What do I do? If I don't move, I don't get the promotion. If I do move, I get the promotion, but I leave my friends and family. What do I do? So there has to be a win lose situation. Okay, so Tar said, I'm between a rock and a hard place. Either I quit my job or I keep working under this horrible boss. Exactly. Excellent example of a rock and a hard place. Okay. Ooh, Hidaki. I'm offered by two big companies. Ah, exactly. So maybe I would say I'm I was offered a job by two big companies. You just need the word a job or a position, a promotion. I received two offers, or I received offers from two big companies. You could use the verb offer, or sorry, the noun offer, an offer. So I received two offers, two job offers from two big companies. Yeah, exactly. So if you accept one, you have to decline the other, and you don't know which is the better job for sure. Excellent example. Okay. This is an interesting scenario to think about. Recop said Jack proposed to stay home and play with him, but there was a girl to hang out with. I was between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, exactly. So do you stay home and spend time with Jack? Or do you go and hang out with this girl? I don't know. Riam said, I have to work or raise my child. For sure. Women face this dilemma all the time. I'm sure men do in their own situation, but a very obvious one is the choice between working and caring for your child. I'm between a rock and a hard place. Exactly. I'm between a rock. Just don't have that in there. Excellent job. Hameen said, if I decide to immigrate, I will be between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, exactly. For sure. For sure. Great job. All right, everyone. Yes, you're right, Manuel. A dilemma, a dilemma. So, I'm facing a dilemma. I'm facing a dilemma for sure. What do I do? What do I do? And as San said, as I'm a working mother, you could add the word I'm always between a rock and a hard place for sure. And Paulo said, if I accept this job offer, I'll have to move to another city. I'm between a rock and a hard place. Exactly, exactly. Or yeah, it could be something enjoyable to choose from, two beautiful places to go on vacation, just vacation singular. I'm between a rock and a hard place because you only have the money for one, the time for one. And if you go to one and enjoy it, you don't get to experience the other one. So it doesn't have to be something that causes you significant distress. It could be something pleasurable, like choosing between vacations. I like that, Jessica. Great job. Okay, excellent examples. Now, a fun one. You knocked the presentation out of. We're missing one word. Maybe we're missing two or three or four or five words. I don't know. And this means you did an amazing job. And no, this is not the idiom that I always use. So don't use the one I always use. It's a different one. You knocked the presentation. Your keyword is the verb knock. You knocked the presentation out of, what could it be? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, we have some interesting examples coming in. Okay, okay. Interesting examples indeed. Reham said the box. Dawit said the park. Rim said the clouds. One of those answers is correct. Two are incorrect. So which one is it? The box, the park, or the clouds? A, the box, B, the park, or C, the clouds? What do you think? What do you think? We also have some other interesting examples, and we have Christoph. I don't know. That's okay, Christoph, because you're going to learn a new one in just a minute. What could it be? What could it be? It is the park. You got it. Oh, sorry, I highlighted the wrong one. It's the park, the park. Exactly. Hidaki got it. You knocked the presentation out of the park. I think this is a baseball idiom because so you knock the ball out of the park, like the field, I guess, but the park meaning you hit a home run. Anyway, if you like baseball, you can imagine baseball, and that might help you remember this expression, but it's the park. You knocked the presentation out of the park. You knocked it out of the park. You knocked it out of the park. Just keep in mind, you can't just say for this one, you knocked it. You knocked it. No, that does not work. You knocked it out of the park. And for out of, you similar to what we talked about before, outa, outa, outa. Repeat after me. Outa. You knocked it out of the park. So if it's obvious that it's a presentation, you can just change that to it. How did I do on the presentation? You knocked it out of the park. You did an amazing job. Oh, right. So, how about this? Let's practice. Let's think of the something. You knocked. Now, what's the something? The something could be a noun or a gerund verb. So, if you use a verb, it will be the action. The action. Okay. So, there's the verb in ing. You knocked doing something. So, what could that be? So, in our example, now you can look at the image, the picture, to think of some ideas related to this picture. For this one, if it were a verb, you knocked giving the presentation out of the park, for example. Okay, so what could it be? Yeah, so Recop said you knocked the climbing out of the park. Exactly. So she's rock climbing, or he is. I don't know who the teacher is and who's the student. Yeah, Christoph, you knocked climbing out of the park. Exactly, exactly. The climbing. Yeah. Okay, here, Trucker Martin said Nikola Tesla knocked the electricity gain out of the park. Exactly. Excellent job. I like that. Now, notice what this student did is he spelled it as knocked because the K is silent. So for spelling, the K is required, but for pronunciation, notice it's knock, knock. And it's the same verb as to knock. That is the verb to knock on the door. Knock. Ooh, I like this, Dawit. I passed the exam with flying colors. I knocked it out of the park. So here the it is the exam. Very nice. Oh, you knocked singing out of the park. Exactly. You knocked the presentation out of the stadium. Yeah, so for this one, I know what you mean by out of the stadium, and maybe that is an acceptable form of this idiom. The one I'm most familiar with is out of the park, although I can see the logic because you also play maybe you I don't think you do play baseball in a stadium. Yeah, you do. The Yankee Stadium. Yes, so maybe you can say that too. Okay, you knocked the lesson out of the park. Exactly. The discussion out of the park. Very nicely done, everyone. You knocked that crazy task out of the park. Very nicely done. So, this is a fun one, a fun baseball related idiom. I think is baseball related. I know nothing about sports, so you guys can tell me if this is baseball related. Okay. And Hadaki said, "You knocked the bouldering competition out of the park." Exactly. Woohoo. Now, how about this one? I need to bite the and clean my closet. This means I need to finally do something I've been avoiding. So that means every day I say, "Oh, today I will clean the closet. Today I will clean the closet." But then I don't clean the closet. And I'll say, "Meh, I'll do it tomorrow." Because I don't want to. It's not an enjoyable task or activity. Okay. So, what is the correct answer? Oh, you not I need to bite the bull? Probably not a good idea. The bully? Let's see. What do we have here? We have the correct answer. Horatio got it. This student got it as well. Bite the bullet. Bite the bullet. Hidaki got it. Samira got it. Dawe got it. Dudane. English Journey. Awesome, everyone. So, what do you need to bite the bullet? So, notice here how after and clean, base verb, and clean. Okay, I need to bite the bullet and what could it be? What do you need to do that you have been delaying, postponing because it's not an enjoyable activity? So you can get inspiration from this picture, or you can create your own situation that's real in your real life right now. I'm sure there's some room in your house that needs cleaning or some chore that needs to be done. All right. Recob said, I need to bite the bullet and answer the following questions. Exactly, exactly. But just remember that this means that you've been delaying answering the questions. So every day you see the questions in your inbox, in your email inbox, and you say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Because it's time consuming or you just don't want to do that job for whatever reason. Samara said, I need to bite the bullet and study for my exam. So you need a possessive or an article. The exam, my exam, exactly. But no, Barbara, you can't say nails. You have to bite the bullet, not nails. Okay. Omarion said, I need to bite the bullet and try public speaking. Exactly. Manuel said, I need to bite the bullet and get started because you want the base verb and get started with the new job. Exactly. Every day. Oh, I'll start the job tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. Excellent job. Addison said, I need to bite the bullet and start speaking English in public. Exactly. So that is for all of you a nice reminder. Don't say, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow. I'll start after I finish this project. I'll start in the new year. It will be my New Year's resolution. No, bite the bullet and do it now. Okay, everyone. Excellent job. What about this one? The party is on Saturday, but it's a surprise. Don't spill the which means don't reveal this information, which is a secret. The secret is the party is on Saturday, but it's a surprise. So you don't want the main person to know. It's a surprise party. So when the person walks into the room, everyone will say, surprise. Wow. Okay. So what is it? Is it, oh, I wanted to highlight this one. Is it milk? Is it beans? Is it tea? Hmm. What is it? We have another fan for milk. Oh, sorry. It's very hard to click on things. Milk. It is beans. Beans. And it is the beans, but the is already here on the screen. The beans. Oh, wouldn't that be fun if it was frog? But it's not. It's beans. Don't spill the beans. Don't spill the beans. Okay, so how about this one? Oh, yes, beans. How about this one? I accidentally, which means you didn't do it on purpose, I accidentally spilled the beans about something, about the, about our, about his. So there could be something, a noun. Now, this means I accidentally revealed the information, which was a secret. I disclosed it, I revealed it, I shared it. Oh no, what was it? Okay, recop could be I accidentally spilled the beans about the equation. So, what you see in the background of this image is the equation. So maybe the professor told this one student there's a mistake in the equation that makes it impossible to solve. But this student was not supposed to tell the other students, but he did. He said, hey guys, the equation is impossible to solve. Look at the mistake. So that could be it. Excellent example. Oh, I like this one. This is creative. I accidentally spilled the beans about my secret crush. So, if you have a crush on someone, it means you have romantic feelings towards another person. We have crushes on celebrities or on just people we work with. They're innocent. They're innocent.
Let's keep going and you'll learn 38 expressions in one short story. First, we'll read a section of the story and then you'll learn the natural expressions to understand the story, and then we'll keep reading. Let's start the story.
Once upon a time, in a cozy town nestled between rolling hills, there was a group of five close friends: Emma, Jack, Lisa, Tom, and Rachel. They had known each other since childhood, and despite busy lives, they always set aside one weekend a year to catch up and hang out. Now, let's review just this one short section, and we'll review two expressions here. Once upon a time. You probably recognize this because a lot of Disney stories, a lot of fairy tales, a lot of stories start with once upon a time. Repeat after me. Once upon a time. Once upon a time. Now, that's not an expression that native speakers use in our daily speech. We use that expression once upon a time specifically when we're sharing a story, a fairy tale. Once upon a time in a cozy town. Do you know what cozy means? Well, I feel very cozy right now in this sweater. It's cold and it's raining outside, so I wore a cozy sweater. Cozy is an adjective. Repeat after me. Notice that Z, cozy, cozy. Repeat after me, cozy. This means comfortable, warm, and inviting. So, what do you think? Maybe you could say, Jennifer, that sweater looks cozy. That sweater looks cozy. What do you think? Do you think this looks cozy? It certainly is. Are you wearing something cozy right now? Maybe you're in your pajamas. That would be probably the most cozy thing you could wear, your pajamas. So if you're wearing something cozy right now, put cozy in the comments because I want you to practice all of these. Say it out loud because you're more likely to remember them. Now, let's look at this. Once upon a time in a cozy town, a comfortable town, an inviting town, a small, comfortable town nestled between rolling hills. So listen to the pronunciation nestled. Notice there's a silent letter, nestled. You don't say nest old, so nestled, nestled, nestled nestled. The T is silent. So here are the rolling hills, and the town is nestled. So it is snugly in place. It's comfortably in place. So it's in a location, but it's quite snug and comfortable. You could say, for example, the office is nestled in the heart of downtown. So it's comfortably placed. We really use nestled for locations. And notice it's an adjective. So you need your verb to be nestled. Cozy town nestled between rolling hills, there was a group of 5 close friends. So here, close is an adjective as well. It describes that they have an intimate relationship, they're close friends. Okay, let's move on with the next part of our story. And Dulix said, I wear a cozy shirt. I wear a cozy shirt. Absolutely, a shirt can be cozy. Just notice, Dulix, you can absolutely say, I wear a cozy shirt, but that's the present simple, which is more of a routine action. So it would sound better if you use an adverb of frequency. I always wear a cozy shirt after work or in the mornings or when I watch TV, something that shows a routine. If it's a right now situation, you need the present continuous. I'm wearing a cozy sweater. Exactly, Dulix. Very nice. I'm wearing. Excellent. All right. And dang, Nanette says, that sweater looks cozy. Well, it really is. My husband bought me this sweater when he was on a trip in Peru, and it's one of my favorite sweaters. Okay. Now, let's continue with our story and make sure you practice in the comments and you repeat after me. Practice your pronunciation. The next part of our story, they had known each other since childhood. And despite busy lives, they always set aside one weekend a year to catch up and hang out. We'll focus on the areas in yellow. If you have a question about something not highlighted, you're welcome. You can put your question in the comment. To set aside, this is when you reserve or save something for a specific purpose. So notice you set something aside. What's the something in this case? Despite busy lives, they always, adverb of frequency, they always set aside one weekend. So in their calendar, let's say there's 4 weekends in a month, they take one weekend and they reserve it. They save it for the specific purpose. What's the specific purpose? To catch up and hang out. Now, for set aside, I want you to practice this example. Maybe you could say, using an adverb of frequency, I always set aside 1 hour per day for my English lessons. So, what about you? Put I always set aside and then put the amount of time that you reserve or save. Maybe it's not per day, maybe it's per week or per weekend. You can change the time reference as well. So, share that in the comments. Okay. Now, To catch up. This you absolutely need to add to your vocabulary. Catch up and hang out. To catch up, this is when you share news or updates about your life. So you do this with friends, family, coworkers, your neighbors, acquaintances. You can do this with anyone. So if you haven't seen a friend for a month, 2 months, you can say, let's grab coffee. Grab is a casual way of saying, let's have coffee. Let's go for coffee. Let's grab coffee and catch up this weekend. So, to catch up, you'll say, oh, what's new with you? Oh, tell me about everything that's new since the last time I saw you. That's catch up. And to hang out, this is to spend time, but always socially. So you can hang out with your coworkers, but you're not discussing work, you're socializing. It's socially. Let's set aside some time next week to hang out. We need to catch up. So, here in this one example, I used all three of our expressions, and this is an extremely natural thing that a native speaker would say. And this is why having these expressions in your vocabulary is so important and so helpful to help you understand natives and sound like one yourself. Okay, Elif said, every month I set aside some money for my skincare routine. Absolutely. This is an excellent example. So you have your total budget, your money, and you set aside, you save, you reserve some money, whatever amount, for your skincare routine. Excellent job. Really nicely done. And Pooja, I always set aside 1 hour per day for my English lesson. That's wonderful. And great job getting that adverb of frequency. I always, very nice. TT, I always set aside at least 7 hours for deep sleep. That is an excellent habit to have. And HS says, I always set aside 30 minutes every day for exercising. I'm really impressed with everyone. Excellent sentence structure, excellent adverb of frequency, really nice. Okay, great job, everyone. Let's continue with our story. And of course, we're going fast, so you'll need to watch this again and review all of these expressions, write practice examples, practice them out loud as well. Okay. Tumor Malik asked, what about hanging out together by watching TV? Absolutely. Let's hang out and watch TV. Let's hang out and watch TV. You can absolutely say that. Great job. Let's continue. And of course, if you're enjoying this lesson, please like it to support the channel so I can continue offering these lessons for free to you. Like the lesson, subscribe, share it with your friends, and put yes, 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 put yes, 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 yes in the comments. Let's continue with our story. This year, they decided to head to a secluded cabin by the lake. The idea was to unplug and just enjoy each other's company. They packed up their cars with snacks and essentials and set off early on Friday. Let's review this section of the story. This year, they decided to head to a secluded cabin by the lake. Now, I didn't highlight secluded, but do you know what that means? Secluded. You can see it in this image. If the cabin is secluded, secluded is an adjective that means there are no other cabins nearby. It's very private. It's almost in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around. It's secluded, which is nice if you're going for a weekend to unplug and catch up and hang out. They decided to head to. What does this mean? Are you heading to the store? Are you heading to the mall? Are you heading to work? This is how a native speaker commonly says, are you going to the mall, going to work, going to the gym? So you can use head to instead of go to. Head is your verb. So you would need to conjugate that. Yesterday we headed Yes, yesterday we headed to the gym at 9 a.m. because we always set aside 1 hour per day to exercise. And after we catch up and hang out, notice how you can use all of these examples, and that's the best way to practice. So after this lesson, make sure you practice, practice, practice. What time do you want to head to the mall? Now, to unplug, well, I'm sure you can imagine. Actually, oh, you couldn't see it. My phone was plugged in, but I just yanked it. I pulled it, I yanked it, and the plug fell out. But to unplug, you turn off your phone, you turn off your devices, you disconnect from your devices. But you can also use this just to disconnect from your busy life. So you don't necessarily have to turn off your entire phone, but maybe you turn off your emails from work. And that way, you're unplugging from work. You're unplugging from that part of your life. You could say, I'm looking forward to unplugging this weekend. So, what about you? Do you set aside any time to unplug? Maybe you unplug for half an hour before bed, for example. You don't check your phone, you don't check social media, you don't watch my lessons, you unplug 30 minutes before bed. So, do you set aside any time to unplug? Put yes or no in the comments. Okay. So, TT said, I'm heading to the kitchen. Exactly. Where are you going? I'm heading to the kitchen. Do you want anything? Do you need anything? And Robbie said, unplug, take some time out. Exactly. Take some time out. Very good. Okay. And Pooja said, I always head to work out every day. Okay, so you would head to, but a location. I always head to the gym. I head to the gym, and then you can add your verb. I head to a location. I head to the gym to work out every day. I'm glad you wrote that because I didn't explain that. So it's very important. You head to a location. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Our next part, they packed up their cars with snacks and essentials and set off early on Friday. So to pack up, notice here that there's the preposition up. This means that we take the verb to pack and we turn it into a phrasal verb, pack up. So to pack up means to pack. It means to put away your belongings before you leave. You can say, it looks like it's going to rain. Let's quickly pack up the food. So, if you're having a picnic outside, you're eating outside because you're catching up with your friends, you're hanging out with your friends, you're having a picnic. It's going to rain. Let's pack up. Let's pack up and go. Now, to set off, this means to start a journey, a trip, or an adventure, which is a fun way to use this. But for just a journey or a trip, you could say, what time do you want to set off tomorrow? What time do you want to set off? Set off. So notice that. Repeat after me. Set off. Set off. Very good. Set off tomorrow. Now, the past simple and the past participle is set. So we set off. So that's the irregular past simple and participle. Okay. So is practicing and said, I head to a vacation this weekend for unplug my work. Okay, to unplug, because unplug is a verb. So you would want the infinitive to unplug from my work. From my work. And this is why it's so important to get feedback to make sure you're using these expressions correctly because you need to unplug because it's a verb and you unplug from something, from my work. All right. Julie said, my friend is prone to pack up everything but the kitchen sink. This is a fun expression. If you include everything but the kitchen sink, it sounds like just absolutely everything in your house. Really nicely done. Okay. Wendy said, we set off to hiking at 9 a.m. in the morning. Very nice. So, I would say to go hiking because you use the verb go plus an activity, an active based verb. We set off to go hiking at 9 a.m. in the morning, at 9 in the morning. Very nice. All right. Excellent job, everyone. And TT said, I just unpacked my bag, which was full of groceries. Exactly. So the opposite of pack is unpack. I unpacked my bag. Very nicely done, everyone. Let's continue with our story. As they arrived at the cabin, the view was breathtaking, and they immediately fell in love with the place. They settled in, unpacked, and decided to kick off the weekend with a hike through the nearby woods. Well, here we have unpack, which TT just used, the opposite of pack. Now, let's review some more expressions from this section. As they arrived at the cabin, standard, the view was breathtaking. I'm sure you know this adjective already, to be breathtaking. This means extremely beautiful, but you can also use it to mean more extremely exciting. She gave a breathtaking performance. It's possible that her performance was beautiful. You can think of the ballet, which is a beautiful form of dance, but it could also be that her performance was exciting. It was breathtaking. So remember, that's an adjective, so you still need a verb. To fall in love, they immediately fell in love with the place being the cabin. So you can fall in love with something, a cabin, or someone, of course. Now, notice here, you have the verb fall. This acts as the transition. Once you're in love, you can just say, I'm in love with all my students. Now, that is just talking about the state. But to talk about the transition, we use the verb fall. So this is to go from not in love to in love. For example, Romeo fell in love with Juliet at first sight. Do you know this expression, at first sight? It was love at first sight. So the first time you see someone. But you can use this with a something. You can say, the first time I saw the cabin, it was love at first sight. I loved the cabin at first sight. Because, of course, we don't need to use love just for romantic love. You can use it as a sign of deep admiration, deep respect, deep feelings. Like I said, I love all of my students, which is very true. Let's continue. They settled in, unpacked, which we already learned, and decided to kick off the weekend with a hike through the nearby woods. So let's talk about settle in. This is very commonly used in classroom settings, in workplace settings as well, but you can use it in your daily life. This is when you become comfortable in a new environment. So if you move from your home to a new home, it would take you some time to settle in, to feel comfortable in that new environment. This would be the case if you change your home, your work, your school, anything. You need some time. For example, at the beginning of a class, I could give you 5 minutes to settle in. So, what will you do that during that time? You'll sit in your seat, you'll get your notebook ready, your computer ready, you'll say hello to your neighbors, you'll turn off your phone, hopefully you'll unplug. That is settle in. You're getting comfortable in this new environment, which is the classroom. Now, I could say, I'll give you 5 minutes to settle in, and then we'll kick off the lesson. Kick off is a fun way to say start, to kick off the lesson. Now, notice you kick something off. So, in our story, they decided to kick off the weekend, to start the weekend. In my case, I want to kick off the lesson with an engaging story. So, how do you usually kick off the weekend? Maybe you kick off the weekend by hanging out with your friends, by unplugging, by catching up with your friends or family? How do you kick off the weekend? Share one example in the comments. I kick off the weekend by, and then you need a verb in ing. Okay. Now, nearby, this means not far away. So it's close. But notice here, it can be an adverb or an adjective. I live nearby. Or you can say, let's go to the nearby cafe. So in this case, you're describing the cafe. You're saying the cafe is not far, the cafe is close. Let's go to the nearby cafe, not that one. Let's go to the nearby one. But you can also say, I live nearby. I live nearby. So notice that different use. All right. Let's see. Manfi says, I kick off the weekend by watching my movie. Exactly. Very nice. And same with SG. I kick off by watching a Hollywood movie. Exactly. Just make sure you specify the something. I kick off my weekend. I kick off the weekend. I kick off Saturday by watching a Hollywood movie. Well, you two can watch together. And Pooja said, I kick off my day with friends. Exactly. Okay, Wake Up said, I kick off my weekends by binge watching shows. To binge watch, this means you watch one, it ends, and you instantly watch another one. It ends, you instantly watch another one. It ends, you instantly watch another one, and you keep going. Well, here, this is what I want to see. Hamid said, I usually kick off the weekend by binge watching JForrest channel. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you're going to binge watch, do it with something educational. But you can also do it to unplug and just relax because, of course, you need some downtime. Some downtime. Do you know that expression? Downtime is when your brain or your body is not actively engaged. So it's more resting. Okay. Our next part of our story. Wow. What is this in the comments? What is this in the image? Put it in the comments before I reveal the answer. What is this amazing sight? As they walked along the trail. The trail. So if you're hiking, the trail is the path that you can take in the woods, in the forest, even through a park where you can walk, you can bike, you can potentially do other things as well. That would be the trail. In the winter, you can snowshoe, for example, or ski. They walked along the trail, the path in the woods or forest. As they walked along the trail, they came across a hidden waterfall. Of course, it's a waterfall. Paulo got it. Faria got it. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but a picture perfect waterfall. Exactly. Samia got it. Waterfall. Great job, everyone. The sight made them all stop in their tracks. We definitely lucked out with this spot, Lisa said, snapping photos. Let's move on to our next part. As they walked along the trail, I explained what trail was. They came across. When you come across something, in this case, the something is a hidden waterfall. It means you find something accidentally. So in this case, they weren't looking for a waterfall. They didn't say, okay, if we follow this trail, we'll get to the waterfall. They didn't know there was a waterfall. They came across a hidden waterfall. They found it accidentally. Now, you can use this with other things. For example, I came across this interesting YouTube channel called JForrest English. Now, at some point, most likely you came across this channel accidentally. You probably weren't looking for it. You just were looking for videos to improve your English, but you weren't looking for my channel specifically. You saw one of my videos, you watched it, and you said, "Oh, wow, I really like this teacher. I'm going to subscribe." But you probably first came across it accidentally, of course. Now, if you're using this with people, use run into. So you come across something, but you run into someone. For example, you could say, "You'll never believe it. I ran into Jennifer in New York." So you saw me, but we didn't arrange to hang out. It was accidental. Now let's look at this next one. The sight of this hidden waterfall made them all stop in their tracks. So to stop in one's tracks, this means that it causes someone to suddenly stop. Suddenly stop. So maybe you were looking for videos to improve your English and then you were scrolling and then one of my videos stopped you in your tracks. So you're scrolling and then you saw it and you suddenly stop. You stop scrolling and you click on the video. And that's how you came across my channel. And hopefully one day we'll run into each other. I would absolutely love that. Okay. As Wendy said, I came across this interesting lesson. Exactly. Very nice. Exactly, to encounter suddenly. Very nice. Okay. I ran into my cousin in the shopping center last weekend. Exactly. And you weren't planning to catch up with your cousin. You weren't planning to hang out with your cousin. You ran into your cousin. It wasn't planned, it was accidental. And Satyajit said, "I came across her profile and liked it." Exactly. I found it accidentally. Very nice, everyone. Great job practicing. Let's continue. "We definitely lucked out with this spot," Lisa said, snapping photos. So notice we definitely lucked out. This is in quotation marks, which means Lisa is saying these words directly. In a story, you will have information not in quotations, which means someone is narrating, sharing the story, but then there'll be parts of a story or news article that are in quotations, which means someone directly said those words. So to luck out with someone or something, this means to be lucky, but in a specific situation. I truly feel that I lucked out with my amazing students, with, and in this case, someone with my amazing students. I'm very lucky in this specific situation. And remember, luck, it's not that I did anything specifically. It's also by chance. It's accidental. That's the definition of luck. Or you could say, you could go to the movies or go to the theater, a play, and say, "We got the best seat. We lucked out." But that's if you don't have an assigned seat. You just got there and, "Oh, wow, look at those seats. Let's take those." We lucked out. So it's another way of saying we are lucky. We lucked out. We lucked out. Miriam said, and this is what you should do to practice. Take these expressions and see how you can combine them together. "I'm lucky I came across your channel." Exactly, Miriam. And I feel the same way. Now, notice it's "I came across something." I came across your channel. So don't add that preposition to. You have to really pay attention to the sentence structure. So in this case, you don't need the preposition to. "I am lucky I came across your channel." And I feel the same way. I'm lucky that you came across my channel because now you're here. Okay. And Manuela, remember, it's lucked out with that ed. So I am lucky. That's one expression. I lucked out. So repeat after me for pronunciation, because notice this ed is pronounced as a soft t, a soft t. I lucked out. Lucked out. Repeat after me. Lucked out. lucked out. So I lucked out with this English lesson or by joining this English lesson. And I feel the same way. Thank you so much, Manuela. I snapped lots of photos of the attractive areas. Exactly. So, to snap a photo, this is a casual way that a native speaker would say to take a photo. I snapped so many photos of the beautiful waterfall. I ran into Jennifer on vacation and we snapped a photo together. So, we took a photo. All right, let's continue with our story. That evening, they gathered around the fireplace, chatted about the good old days. Laughter filled up the cabin as they made up ridiculous stories and acted out scenes from movies. Now, I want to go to the cabin with a group of friends. This looks like a lot of fun. Okay, let's review this. That evening, they gathered around the fireplace. So, to gather around, and you can include something, in this case, the fireplace, it means to come together in a group. For example, the students gathered around the screen to watch the presentation. So imagine we're in a classroom and there's one screen at the front of the class. So I could say, okay, gather around, everyone, gather around. So come together and then focus on something specific. Gather around the screen. So that's something specific. If I just say gather around, I could be the something specific and you could come up to me. Now, to chat about, they gathered around the fireplace. As you can see, they are gathered around the fireplace. They're focused on the fireplace and they chatted about the good old days. So, to chat about, this is a casual way of saying to talk about. So you can use this as a verb. In a professional context, it would be very common to send someone a quick message on MS Teams or text, WhatsApp, and say, let me know when you're free to chat. Let me know when you're free to chat. And then I could reply back and say, I'm free. Now's good. And then the person could call me and we'll chat, we'll talk. Now, you can specify the something just like chat about, talk about, and then you specify the something. Let me know when you're free to chat about the project. Then I have more information. TT said that fireplace doesn't look very safe. I agree. When I saw this picture, the fire is just open. There's nothing surrounding it. I agree with you there, TT. Okay. And Carol said the Niagara Falls offers an incredible waterfall, which makes it breathtaking. Excellent job using breathtaking, which makes it breathtaking. Very nice. And did you know that I live 5 hours by car from Niagara Falls? And I have seen it with my own eyes, and wow, it is absolutely breathtaking. Oh, but you didn't say Niagara Falls. You said Nicaragua Falls. I saw the and because Niagara Falls is near me, that's what I saw, but it's not. It's Nicaragua Falls. I have not been to Nicaragua, but I'm sure it's breathtaking. Okay, let's continue. Now, the good old days. This is a nostalgic view of the past. And it's very common to simply say, oh, those were the good old days. Those were the good old days. So you're remembering the past in a way that makes it seem very pleasant, very very, I don't know, better than the days now, basically. So, a nostalgic, an idealistic view, a better view. So, here they could be talking about when they were in university, when they were in college, before they had to pay taxes and do chores and all that. Those were the good old days. Okay, our next part, laughter filled up. So this means it occupied completely. So the sound of laughter occupied the entire cabin. But you can use this in a more literal way. You can say she filled up her calendar with fun activities. So her entire calendar is full, to fill up. Now, the laughter filled up the cabin as they made up ridiculous stories. To make up is to invent or create. So if you tell me a story, I could say, "You made that up, right? You made up that ridiculous story, didn't you?" Ridiculous means absurd, silly, or laughable. So you can use it more in a positive way. "Oh, that's ridiculous. That's very funny." But you can also use it if you think someone is telling you something that is just absurd. So if I say, "You can become fluent in English in 1 hour," you would say, "Pff, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous." So in that case, you're using it in more of a negative way. But in this case, it sounds silly. They're having fun. They're laughing. Ridiculous stories and act it out. So right now, I know you're watching this and I can't see you, but I want you to act out "It's raining." What would you do? Right now, act out "It's raining." Are you acting it out? Are you physically illustrating it? So I would, if I were to act out "It's raining," I would do this. That would be acting out. I'm physically illustrating it. Or maybe this is my umbrella and then the rain. So that's how I would act it out. What did you do? I know you can't tell me, but what did you do to act it out? Was it similar to what I did? Mamphy, very clever. Okay. Yes, TT, you could absolutely just say laughter filled the cabin. Sometimes in English, you don't need to use the phrasal verb. You can use the verb and there's no difference. So you could say laughter filled up the cabin or laughter filled the cabin. I don't hear any difference between these two, to be honest. Manuela said, "My friend and I gathered around the table and chatted about our plans." Exactly. Very nicely done. Excellent job. And Ella said, "I don't have time to chat about rumors." Exactly. My calendar is filled up with more important things than ridiculous rumors. Very nice. So just notice for chat, so for, you can turn chat into a noun and you can say for a chat, because we use for something, but to do. Okay, so for you need a noun and then to do you need your infinitive. I don't have time to chat about rumors. I don't have time for a chat about rumors. Okay. Wendy said, "When we met the old friends, we chatted about the old days." Exactly. The old days. You can say the old days. I would add the good old days because that sounds more like an expression, whereas old days just means previous, not recent. But the good old days is when you remember the past with nostalgia in a more idealized way, where the past is better than now, which a lot of people feel. But I want these days, the days you're currently experiencing, to be the best days for you, not reminiscing only about the past. Although it is certainly fun to catch up with friends, hang out, and chat about the good old days. It's a simple pleasure in life. Okay. Our next part of the story. They whipped up some snacks when hunger kicked in after all the laughing. They stayed up until the wee hours, gazing at the star filled sky and mulling over their dreams. "No matter where life takes us," Emma said, "I'm glad we can always count on each other." Hmm. What does it mean to whip up some snacks? Does anyone know? Whip up some snacks. Okay. They whipped up. Notice that pronunciation because again, this ED is a soft T. They whipped. They whipped up. whipped up. But when you combine it with the preposition up, it's very, very soft. They whipped up. They whipped up some snacks. So they prepared it quickly, quickly. We only use this expression with food. So I wouldn't say, can you whip up a presentation? It doesn't sound right to me because it's only used with food. Okay. But you make food potentially 3 times a day. So you can use this a lot in your daily speech. Can you whip up lunch? Well, I walk the dog. So maybe you say this to your roommate, your best friend, your husband, your sister, your brother, your mother, whoever. Can you whip up lunch? Can you make lunch quickly while I walk the dog? So, have you whipped up a meal today? You can whip up a main meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner, or you can whip up a snack. So, what about you? Have you made anything quickly? Have you whipped up anything today? If you have, share it in the comments. What did you whip up? This specific item. Now, to kick in, they whipped up some snacks when hunger kicked in. This means that when they felt the effects of hunger, so they feel it. That's when something kicks in. They feel the effects of it. So we use this a lot with pills that you take. So a pain reliever is a pill you can take to get rid of pain, a pain reliever. You can say, "Oh, I hope this pain reliever kicks in soon. My head is killing me." So when something is killing you, it means it's causing a negative reaction in you, obviously. My head is killing me. Do you have any pain relievers? And then you take it and you say, I hope it kicks in soon. I hope I can feel the effects of it soon. Okay, wake up said, I'll vacuum the room real quick. Can you whip up some food? Exactly. Very nice. Julia, my mother whipped up lunch in a blink of an eye because we felt starving. Very nice. Now, you can say the lunch if you're talking about a specific lunch, but for meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, we don't use articles with them. So I would just say, I had breakfast. Every morning, I eat breakfast. Anissa said, I whipped up my breakfast. Exactly. Very nice. All right. I whipped up tea in 5 minutes. Very nice. You can say that. All right. My mother whipped up the lunch before we got there, you could say. We reach. If you use reach, you have to specify the destination. Before we reached her home, for example. Okay. And Pooja said, I whipped up my lunch. And Amna said, as I came across the live English class, I had to whip up dinner in 20 minutes. Exactly. Guests are coming in 20 minutes. I need to whip up some snacks or whip up dinner. Very nicely done, everyone. Okay. They stayed up until the wee hours. So, of course, they stayed up. They were awake. Now, what are the wee hours? Have you heard this? The wee hours. I personally never stay up until the wee hours. Maybe in this situation, a weekend away with friends, maybe I would, but it would be difficult for me. They were awake until between midnight, 12 a.m., and dawn, 4 a.m. Midnight to 4. Approximately, those are the wee hours. And what were they doing until the wee hours? They were gazing. So intensely looking, usually because something is so beautiful or breathtaking or strange, even. It gets your attention. We gazed at the Eiffel Tower for over an hour because it's so breathtaking, gazing at the star filled sky and mulling over their dreams. When you mull something over, in this case, their dreams, mulling over their dreams, it means to think carefully. So, let's say your boss offers you the opportunity to move to a new city or a new country for work. Your boss might say to you, take some time to mull it over. So you need to think carefully because your entire life will change if you accept that job. So take some time to mull it over. But certain things you don't need to mull over. You don't need to mull over liking this video. You can just like this video. You don't need to think about it carefully. So hit like, don't mull it over. Just hit like, subscribe, share it with your friends. And then, so we have quotes, so we know someone is saying this. In this case, the character Emma. No matter where life takes us, Emma said, I'm glad we can always count on each other. Isn't that so sweet? I wish I was part of this group of friends. So, to count, rely, or depend on. Sometimes in English, there are multiple ways to say the same thing. So now you just learned three ways to say one thing because you can say count on, depend on, or rely on. They're all the same. And this is when you trust that someone or something will support you, will help you, or that something will work when you want it to work or that you need it to work. For example, I count on my phone to work when I need to send a text message. I trust that it will send the message like it is supposed to. So that's how something would work, like you need it or want it to work. So maybe you could say we can count on Jennifer to create great lessons for us. Do you agree with that? If you do, put yes, put yes, put yes in the comments if you agree with that. Okay. Dulux said, or well, okay, maybe the wee hours. Dully said we can count on Professor Jennifer for another free lesson like this. Absolutely, you can. And I'm already working on the next one. So you absolutely can count on me. Okay. Oh, this is a great example. AK said we should mull over who to count on. Yeah, you don't need the about because your preposition is over. With think, you think about something, but you mull something over. Okay, so notice that preposition change. We should mull over who to count on. Exactly. Because some people don't deserve your trust, right? So you should mull it over. That's correct. All right. And Wendy agrees, and Box Office agrees, and TT agrees, and Louise agree. We can count on Jennifer. Well, thank you so much, Louise. Oh, Gabrielle said, I watch your YouTube in the wee hours. Do you? Do you? You should be sleeping. But thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Excellent, everyone. Though the weekend had flown by, it was filled with memories they would hold on to forever. And as they pulled away from the cabin, they felt recharged and ready to take on whatever life had in store. Isn't that nice? Group hug. That's what they're doing in the picture at the bottom. If you have a group, you can use this with your family as well. Say group hug. Say those two words, group hug. And then everyone will come in and hug at the same time. Though the weekend had flown by. So the idiom is to fly by, to happen very quickly. So do you think this lesson flew by? I can't believe we are almost at 1 hour. Can you believe it? For me, this lesson flew by. I certainly hope you feel the same way. Now, we have a general expression in English, time flies. Time flies. Have you heard this? Wow, time flies. And this just expresses that time moves very quickly. So if someone said, oh, Jennifer, you only have 5 minutes left in this lesson, I would say, what? Oh, time flies. I have to move faster. In this case, to be filled with. So it was filled with. It represents the weekend. It was filled with. So to contain a lot of. You can say the project was filled with problems. So something can be filled with, contain a lot of something positive or also something negative. This project was filled with problems. Hopefully, you don't think this lesson was filled with y- unnecessary examples. Hopefully, you don't think that. Now, to hold on to, though the weekend had flown by, gone very quickly, it was filled with, contained a lot of memories they would hold on to forever. So, of course, if you hold on to something, right now I'm holding on to my pen. But in this case, if you hold on to something for a period of time, it means that you cherish it. So I could say, I'm holding on to this pen because my grandmother gave it to me. Now, in this case, it doesn't mean I'm physically holding it. It means I'm going to keep it. Even if it doesn't work anymore, I'm going to keep it because it's important to me. I'm going to cherish it, cherish it. So you can hold on to something non physical like memories. So that's a really nice expression to have in your vocabulary as they pulled away from the cabin. So if you pull away from a location, this means to leave a location, but in a vehicle. Now, you can use this with a train, a bus, a plane, a boat as the plane pulled away. Now, you don't have to say from the airport if it's obvious. So you can leave it out or you can include it. If you include the location, you would say from the location. As the plane pulled away from the airport, I realized I forgot my toothbrush. Has something like that ever happened to you? Now, to feel or be recharged, this means that you feel full of energy and is usually after a period of not having a lot of energy. So you could say, I feel recharged after listening to that motivational speaker. So before the speaker, you were a little, and then after you're excited, you're motivated, you're recharged, you're ready to go. So they felt recharged and ready to take on. So if you take on a problem, a challenge, or task, it means you accept it, you confront it, or you deal with it. So, in a workplace situation, you can say, I can take on that project. I can accept that project. But in this case, it's more to take on whatever life has in store. It means more to just deal with any situation that happens, not a specific thing right now. And to have in store, this is an expression. It's nothing to do with the grocery store or the mall, nothing like that. It's when you expect something to happen. For example, I'm not sure what the boss has in store. This means I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not sure what Jennifer has in store for the next lesson. You don't know what I have planned. You don't know what's going to happen in the next lesson. I'm not sure what Jennifer has in store for me, for us, or in the next lesson. Raymond said, I'll hold on to my father's advice. Wow, what a nice thing to say because you're going to cherish it. Very nice. I like that. Julia said, I was captivated by this live stream from the head to toe that I didn't aware of time flying by. Yeah, I wasn't aware of time flying by. Very nice. Very nice. Raymond says, I feel recharged after going on vacation. After is a preposition, so you need your verb in ing. SG said, I wonder what Jennifer has in store for us in the next live lesson. This is a perfect expression. Really nicely done. Excellent job. Wake Up said, Jennifer's live stream is filled with her energetic lessons and her great students. Time flies. We'll wait for her next wonderful lesson. Excellent job. And then you can add, I wonder what she has in store for us.
Now let's review and practice using the future simple. Of course, the future simple is subject plus will plus base verb. And you use this for many different reasons, one being promises and commitments. Let's review this together.
So that one student talked about becoming fluent. I will improve my English. You can think of it as I promise I will improve my English. Or I will improve my English. This is my commitment. This can be a commitment to someone else, or it can be a commitment to yourself as well. I will improve my English. That is my commitment to myself. That is my promise to myself. So Farah said for the promise. Exactly. Exactly. You got it for promises. Okay. So we have some other great uses. So everyone, let's imagine that this woman, and you can choose a different subject because the subjects don't matter. They're all the same when you're conjugating the future simple. So, what do you think she could say out loud, a sentence in the future simple based on what you see in this image? Hmm. It could be someone else talking to her as well. Now, you can also form this in the negative to practice, or you can ask a question if you would like to practice those other forms as well. So feel free to leave a positive sentence, a negative sentence, or a question. So, what could this woman say to make a promise or to make a commitment? It could be to herself or it could be to someone else. What could she say? Maybe I will. What could she say? So Dance K said, I will review the documents every Monday. Exactly, exactly. And notice here, this is an excellent example because you use every Monday, which sounds like a keyword for the present simple. So you could absolutely say, I review the documents every Monday. You're talking about your daily routine and the things that are included or not included in your daily routine. But if you say, I will review the documents every Monday, you're stating this as a commitment or as a promise. Excellent job, Dance K. Okay. And this student said, I will read this book. Exactly. Now, you don't have to say it's my commitment. You absolutely can, but just I know I said that, but it's not required. I will read this book. I promise you, I'm committed. I will read this book. Now, you can also add a timeline, a time reference. I will read this book by Monday, by 5 o'clock, tonight, tomorrow. So you can use a time reference. Of course, it has to be in the future for your time reference. And let's practice that contraction. Everyone, repeat after me. I'll, I'll, I'll read this book. I'll read this book. Okay. And I won't break my promise to review the documents every Friday. Exactly. I won't break my promise. This is interesting because by using the future simple, you're promising to not break your promise. And to break a promise, this is a co-location, which means with a promise, you want a specific verb. And that verb is break, which you might know it. You can break a stick, or I could say my computer is broken. But when you break a promise, it means you don't fulfill that promise. You don't do that promise, but we don't use the verb do with promise. The co-location is you break a promise. I won't break my promise. Exactly. Very nice. Okay. And Julia said, it goes without saying that she will complete her tasks before the deadline. Ah, I love it. Exactly. Before the deadline, by the deadline, on the deadline, tomorrow, next week, next Monday. Very nicely done. Okay. I'm sure this is the file that I need to finish this weekend. Exactly. Exactly. Very good. So we didn't use the future simple, but that's okay. You did a great job forming this sentence. So just if you wanted to use the future simple, perhaps you could say, I'll finish the task by this weekend, or I'll file the report by this weekend. Okay. Dawid asked if the pronunciation is weird. It is weird because it's unstressed. So the unstressed, natural way of saying this is all. I'll do it. I'll help you. So you really don't hear it in spoken English. It's not that noticeable. He'll help you, she'll help you, will help you, they'll help you. It's not a stressed sound in natural spoken English. Some of your teachers might overly stress it to help you practice it, but in the real world, native speakers don't stress it. So you won't hear it too much, but based on the sentence structure and the context that it is the present or the future simple, excuse me. And if you're ever not sure, just know it's not required to use the contraction. You can absolutely say, I will, but I recommend getting comfortable with that sound because it will help you improve your listening skills. Because whether you like it or not, native speakers use contractions and we don't stress the sounds. Okay, well, let's try another one. So, again, with promises and commitments, this is one of the three ways we'll practice today. So, I love this man's style. Isn't he stylish? I think this man is so stylish. Stylish, stylish. So, to describe someone as stylish is someone who has style, who has style. So, I think this man is very stylish. I don't know about you, but what could he be saying? Maybe he's talking to someone on the phone. Well, it looks like he is. And maybe he's making a promise or a commitment. Or maybe the person talking to him is making a promise or commitment. Okay, someone asked me to repeat all. So let's do it. And everyone, while you're thinking of what he's doing, or you can focus on my pronunciation, I'm going to go through all the subjects, okay, for the pronunciation. All, all. I'll do it. You'll, oh, you'll, You'll you'll do it. He'll 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 do it. She'll 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 do it. You or they'll do it. Will. So notice whether you like it or not, native speakers in spoken English pronounce the unstressed version of we will the exact same way as will do it, will do it, will do it. So that is will do it. There's really no distinction between we will as a contraction and just saying the word will. Okay, hopefully that helped you. So, again, what could this man be either promising or committing, or someone is making a promise or making a commitment to him? Hmm, I will see you at the mall. Exactly. You just need an article and it's the mall because it's a specific mall. I'll see you at the mall. Exactly. I'll see you. I'll see you at the mall. I'll see you in 5 minutes. I'll see you later. That's why when we say goodbye to someone, we put it in the future simple because we're making a commitment. I'll see you soon. I'll see you later. I'll call you later. Okay. Addie said, I will get it soon. Exactly. Maybe it is some package that this person wants. I'll get it soon. I'll get it soon. I'll get it soon. Ooh, trendy clothes. Exactly. So stylish means that someone has style. That's what I used before. Trendy sounds like it's in style right now. It's very popular to dress like this right now. Trendy, trendy, very nice. A man dressed in trendy clothes is chatting with. You chat with someone. You can also chat to someone, chatting to his friend or chatting with his friend on the phone. Exactly. And maybe he's making a promise or commitment. So, what could that be? And put it in the present simple. Or why do I keep saying present simple? The future simple. Sorry about that, everyone. The future simple. Okay, Carolina, I will be there by 3:30 p.m. to watch the soccer match. Exactly. He's making this commitment. Now, everyone, Carolina said by 3:30. So put in the chat, when will he get there? If you had to say a specific time by 3:30, what would that be? And Ahmed, some people pronounce it like wheel, wheel, wheel. That's a more stressed version. We'll be there. We'll be there. That's a more stressed version. Using will be there is a more unstressed version. And saying we'll be there is a more stressed version. So, absolutely, Ahmed, you will hear native speakers say will. And if you are already comfortable using the pronunciation as will for that contraction, keep using it. Absolutely, you're correct. Okay, thank you for sharing that, Ahmed. Okay. Yeah, Faria, you're forgetting a word. I will see you later. Yeah, great job, Manuel, asking a question. When? When will I see you again? And then the person can reply and use the future simple to make a promise or commitment. Shield star, I will see you at the party. Exactly. I'll see you at the party. I'll get rid of him. I'll get rid of him. Very nice. I'll see you in the next English class. Woohoo. And I'm so glad because you just promised, you made a commitment. So you better be there, Jacques. Okay, awesome job, everyone. Woo, great job. Okay, to answer the question I asked about when is by 3:30, you're right. It's between now and 3:30. So it can be before 3:30. It's on or before. On represents 3:30 and then before of course is like Omarian said, between now and 3:30. Perfect job. Excellent job. Okay. Our next one. Ooh, I like this promise or commitment. This is something that these people could make maybe if they're employees, but they could also be children and they made this promise or commitment to their parents. They could be roommates, they could be friends, spouses making this promise or commitment. So, again, they could be many different contexts here. What could the promise or commitment be? Or maybe they're making it to each other. She might tell him, "Oh, I'll do this and you do that." So, making that promise or commitment of the specific task they need to do. And you're right, Stefania, they absolutely could be roommates. They look like they're in that age category where they could be university, college roommates. Yeah, and a spouse. A spouse describes people who are married or in a long-term committed relationship and is gender neutral. So a man could say my spouse to represent a woman and a woman could say my spouse to represent a man. So it's just a gender neutral way of saying it whether that rather than saying make a commitment to your husband or wife, you can simply say spouse. Spouse. Okay. So Manuel said, I will lay the table if you sweep the floor. Exactly. So this person here is sweeping the floor. Very nice. If you sweep the floor. I'm not sure what you mean by lay the table. We use to if you put dishes on the table, we call that set, to set the table. So I'll set the table if you sweep the floor. Very nice. Okay. I'll take a selfie with you when we meet. I promise. Exactly, because you're making a promise or commitment. Okay. And Wingley said, "We'll tidy up the room by the end of the day." By the end of the day. Exactly. By. So on or before. On or before. We'll tidy up the room. And maybe these two people are saying it to their third roommate or to their parents or to their employer because they could be professional cleaners. They do this as their job. All right. Well, thank you so much, Shantu. You're awesome as well for saying that, for being here, and for practicing. Okay, two friends will clean the room by 2 in the afternoon. In the afternoon. By 2 in the afternoon. Yeah, so you can say, I have coffee in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. All right. Martina, mom, my husband is so messy. I'll get divorced. Exactly. Okay. Haraki said, I'll sweep the floor while you make the bed. Exactly. So the verb make the bed. You make the bed. That's the co-location you need. You make the bed and you sweep the floor. Okay. Oh, they will fulfill their promises. Exactly. So you break a promise, which means you don't do it, but you fulfill the promise. Exactly. They will fulfill their promises and commitments by cleaning the room together. I love that. Really nicely done. Now, you could also use the verb keep. They will keep their promises and commitments, but you can absolutely say fulfill. That sounds great. But you can use keep as well. All right, awesome job, everyone. Let's move on to our next use. This is an important distinction because we use the future simple for a spontaneous decision. So let's say I'm in a meeting, there are other people here, and someone said, oh, it's really hot in this room. And then at that moment, I say, I'll open the window. I'll open the window. I'll open the door, which is over here. I'll open the door. I'll help you. So it wasn't planned. I made that decision at the moment of speaking. That's a spontaneous decision. Okay. And this is the area where I see a lot of mistakes because we don't use the future simple for planned decisions. It's a spontaneous decision. So if I say, I'll watch a movie tonight, it's more like, I think I'll watch a movie tonight. I'm making that decision as I'm speaking. All right. So, what could this woman be doing, or what could she say, or someone else say to her as a spontaneous decision? Hmm. Rana said, I'll go help my mom shift the woods. Exactly. I'll help my mom. I'll help my mom. So you didn't think about it in advance. You just said it. Ahmed, I'll fix a light meal by the time you arrive. Ah, okay, very nice. So in this case, it could be a commitment or a promise, but she could also just say it without thinking, or Ahmed could say it without thinking. I'll fix a light meal. And here, fix means prepare. I'll prepare a light meal. You can also use the verb fix a meal to mean prepare. Ah, here's this one, Carolina. Don't worry, I'll make the dinner. So, Carolina and her sister or spouse or friend, oh, I'm so busy. I don't have time to make dinner. Don't worry, I'll make the dinner. And it's done spontaneously. Spontaneously. So now you have another word in your vocabulary. You know, spontaneous and spontaneously. It means without thinking, done instantly in the moment. Anissa said he'll help his wife to cook dinner. Exactly. I'll set the table. Exactly. Spontaneous decisions. Very nice. Great job, everyone. Okay, what about this? You make some sort of spontaneous decision regarding this picture. I don't know what it could be. That's why it's your job to form the sentences. I find the picture, you form the sentences. So what could this be? A spontaneous decision. What could this person say? And remember, you can form a negative sentence. You could ask a question as well. Okay. So Dawood asks in the meantime to set the table. This is, well, I have a glass. So to set the table, so you have your table, and it's when you put the dishes that you need on the table or the other items that you need, maybe the salt and pepper or the butter, the other spices, the condiments, everything you need to eat, you put it on the table. That action is called setting the table. So parents often ask their kids because it's an easy task to do, "Oh, can you set the table?" Or the kid could offer, "I'll set the table." If they see their mom or dad is busy making dinner, "I'll set the table." Okay. Glamour Doll said, "I'll take the train." But exactly, excellent sentence. But remember, this has to be in the moment. So you're thinking, you know, should I take the bus? Should I walk? Should I call a cab, call an Uber? And then you say, I'll take the train. I'll take the train. So you make that decision right there. You get your bag and you go to the train station. I'll take the train. I'll go out from the train because I missed my stop. Exactly. Very nice. I'll finish the call by the train's arrival. Okay, just remember though, this is more of a spontaneous decision. So maybe it would be, um, I'll I'll call you on the train. So you're just deciding in the moment, something like that. I'll call you on the train. Yes, exactly. I'll take the train. Again, spontaneous. Very nice. Oh, right. Exactly. Wait for me. I'll buy the tickets. Exactly. So, again, this could be a different context. This could be a promise or a commitment, but in this case, it's spontaneous. So, your friend might be like, "Oh, I'll go get the tickets." But then you're like, "Oh, no, no, no. I'll buy the tickets. I'll buy the tickets." So, spontaneous. We use this a lot with friends. Maybe when you're finished eating, you might say, "Oh, I'll pay for this. I'll pay for this." You didn't plan it, you just decided at the moment. All right. Very nice. Excellent job, everyone. Rana said, "I will hit the like button and increase one like." Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. GetNet said, "I'll be your student." Exactly. Exactly. All right. Excellent job, everyone. Now, another spontaneous decision. So this is where you're in a meeting and maybe a task needs to be done. And you just agree, "Oh, I'll do it. I'll do it." Or maybe you could volunteer someone. "She'll do it." So what is the task? Be creative, think of the task, think of different subjects as well. And using shall instead of will, honestly, this is very outdated English. This is something that my grandmother would do, use shall instead of will, but it's not something that is done in modern English. So I don't use shall instead of will. My friends don't, my colleagues don't, and certainly younger generations than me will not. So I don't recommend it because it's more outdated. It's not considered modern usage. We do use shall in very specific situations, but not in general for the future simple. Okay, great question though. Val, I'll make the coffee for everyone. Yeah, so maybe you just notice there are a couple cups here. You notice there's only this much coffee. So you just stand up And you say, I'll make the coffee for everyone. And you just go. You just go and make the coffee. I'll take the first assignment. Very nice. I'll eat breakfast with my guests. Exactly. Very nice. I'll come up with the brown great breaking ideas in the course of brainstorming session. Exactly. So a brainstorming session when they all get together and think of solutions, think of different ideas, brainstorm. And you can call it a brainstorming session. Very nice. I'll come up with the ideas, and when you come up with, it means you're the one who thought of, who created those ideas. All right. Yeah, exactly. You should say, what will we do? Because that is the modern usage of the word. Okay. Esther, I'm fed up working until midnight. I'll take a break. I'll take a break. Exactly. But you didn't plan it. You just decided in the moment. It was spontaneous. Very nice. Very nice. I'll take my lunch right now. Why not? Why not? Great job. Great job. All right. Now, the other time we use the future simple is with predictions. But notice here in brackets, it says belief based. This means that the prediction is based on belief. All right. So this is commonly done with adding the words I think. I think. It's not required to use the words I think. It's just very commonly done. So, based on this picture, what prediction based on belief, not fact, could you make based on this picture? And think of different subjects and think of what you could use. And remember, you can ask a question or you could form a negative sentence as well. It's up to you. All right, everyone, what do you think? What do you think? A prediction. This one should be pretty easy. I figure it will rain soon. Ah, very nice, Fred, because I figure is another way of saying, I figure it'll rain soon. Very nice. Excellent job. Uh, I'm trying to go to Carolina's before. Here we go. I think will be a rainy day. Exactly. So just remember, I think you add it to the full clause, but the clause requires the subject, the verb, and the object. So you need it will, because that's what we use for weather. We use the impersonal it. I think it will be a rainy day. And that's why this person brought an umbrella. Exactly. But again, this is more based on belief. It will rain tomorrow. Exactly. Exactly. This is a great one. Christoph, I think Loch Ness Monster will appear. Exactly. Exactly. Why not? Really nice. It does look very eerie. Do you know that adjective? Eerie. Eerie. It's the beginning of a horror movie, for example, when there's fog and there's no one around except this one person and it's foggy. You might describe that as eerie, maybe a little spooky, a little scary, eerie, eerie. I like that. Good example. Okay. Oh, this is interesting, Rana. I think he will get stung by a wasp. By a wasp. Exactly. I think he will get stung. So to be stung is when the wasp bites you, basically, stings you. Oh, Roxana, I love this. I think it'll be a great day. What a nice thing to say. Very nice. Excellent job. Yeah, exactly. Eerie is creepy. Exactly. Creepy is the exact word. I wasn't sure if people would know what creepy meant, but you're right. Creepy. It's a little creepy, a little eerie. All right. Ah, exactly. Everyone is being very clever now. Predictions. I think this man will jump into the lake. Exactly. Maybe you're walking by with your friend and you're like, what is this man doing? He's just standing there. And then you offer your prediction. You don't know, so it's based on your belief, not fact. I think this man will jump into the lake. Exactly. Very nicely done. I love that. Okay. How about this one? Because we often use predictions when we're talking about winners and losers. So, sports is a perfect example. Do you know what sport this is? This is the sport that causes so much confusion in North America because this is what we call football. But of course, when I'm teaching, I generally refer to this as American football because internationally, what we call soccer is what the rest of the world calls football. And then this is what we call football. So, not to confuse you, but this is football. It's American football. Something I don't know very much about, to be honest, because I don't like the sport very much. But exactly, American football. But we just call it football, of course. We don't say American football, we just call it football. And we call what you call football soccer, just to make things a little confusing. Okay, Martina, I think our team will win. Exactly, exactly. I think it will be a board match. Oh, excellent job. Excellent job. Yeah, you don't have to talk about the score. You can talk about the the entertainment, the excitement, whether it's positive or negative. Just know you need boring, boring, because bored is the emotion that you feel. So you could say, I think I will be bored. I think I will be bored because the match is boring. The match is boring. Okay. He thinks he will score. Excellent example, Stefania. He thinks he will score. We don't know if he will because this is just a prediction. Exactly. I bet. Ooh, this is nice, Ahmed. So I bet it's like saying I think, but you sound more confident. I bet they will dominate in the second half. So if they dominate, it means that they perform a lot better than the other team and they are the stronger team in the second half. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Excellent job, everyone. I think the blue black team will lose. Exactly. Very nice. Excellent job. All right. Great job, everyone. How about this one? So, what is this situation here? It looks like this is perhaps, what do you think? A job interview, maybe? It could just be a regular meeting or it could be a job interview. So maybe you want to make a prediction. You can make a prediction about either person. I don't know who is the interviewer and the interviewee. The one who's the interviewer means they're the one hiring. They're the one currently working at the company, and the interviewee is the one attending the job interview. So I don't know which one is which. You can decide. So, what prediction could you make? Oh, Fred, I think she won't be hired. Exactly. Your prediction. Oh, but Samir doesn't agree with you. Samir said, I think she will get the job. Exactly. So to get hired is the same as to get the job. You're hired. You got the job. Okay. Oh, she'll pass the job interview with flying colors. So to do something with flying colors means that she will do it easily. She'll easily pass the job interview. So I could say, oh, You'll learn the future simple with flying colors. You'll learn it easily. I think she will pass the job interview with flying colors. I love that. Great job. Oh, it seems she is getting fired. Exactly. So this is in the present continuous, which you absolutely can use. But the question is a little bit different. The question would be, what's happening? What do you think is happening? Oh, I think she's getting fired. So that's for the present continuous. But if you want to make it a prediction, use the future simple. It seems she will get fired. I think she will be fired. Uh-oh, what did she do wrong? Okay. Excellent job, everyone. Oh, yes, you could also say Alper said, I think she will sail through the job interview. Isn't that interesting? There's so many different ways of saying the same thing. So to sail through something, it means that you easily do it. I think she will sail through the job interview. Very nice. Very nice. Excellent job, everyone. Okay. What about this one? Well, what is this object in the picture? Oh, and this is a prediction. What could the prediction be about this object? Hmm. And what could you say as an example sentence using the future simple based on this? And remember, you can ask a question, you can make a negative statement, you can make a positive statement, you can practice using different subjects. But in this case, it's not as important to practice with different subjects because the subjects don't change. The verb conjugation doesn't change. The structure doesn't change. Does anyone know what this is? To me, this looks like some sort of robotic arm. So it's some sort of machine or robot? Exactly, Stefania. It's some sort of weird looking robot. It looks like it's just the arm of a robot. Hmm. Okay. So Dawit has a prediction. The robot will be effective. Exactly. Very nice. The robot will be effective. That's my prediction. That's what I think. And we learned some different words. You could say, I think, I bet, I figure, I guess. All right. Yeah, Sheila, it does look like a camera as well. So if you want to, it absolutely does. So you could think this is a camera and you can make a prediction based on the camera as well. Okay. Sylvia, this is a good strategy. Just say it's a product. If you don't know what it is, just say it's a product. Really nicely done. Their new product won't take off very soon. Ah, because it's too expensive. Really nicely done. It won't take off. That's my thought. That's my prediction. That's my belief. And the reason why is too expensive. Really nicely done. Okay. Shantanu said, by next year, the new AI system will autonomously assemble the robotic components. Exactly. And you're making a prediction. An excellent job having a time reference by next year. And this is a prediction. Very nicely done. Excellent sentence. Okay. Glendis, I think they will win the competition of robotic this year. Exactly. I would use robotic before the competition to describe what it is. I think they will win the robotic competition this year. Yeah. Horatio, I think they don't know what it is either. Exactly. What is this? Yeah, senorita, I think this is a camera. It definitely could be. That's what Shield Star said. Yeah, okay. Excellent job, everyone. Esther said, I guess the robot will bring more troubles than benefits. Oh, good prediction. Will bring, will bring. Exactly, exactly. Really nice prediction, everyone. Okay, Carolina, I'm glad you said this. Will you think your project will work? Okay, so without you think, it would be will your project work? So you just change will and the subject. Will your project work? Because your project is the subject. Your project will work. And then you change those. Will your project work? But if you add you think, you have to use do you think? Do you think? And then you use the positive sentence. Do you think your project will work? Do you think your project will work? Oh, Asham said, I think although it costs an arm and a leg, she will buy it. Exactly. I think she will buy it. I think she will buy it. Yeah, great example. And good job using although it costs an arm and a leg. What does that mean to cost an arm and a leg? Who knows? Who knows? To cost an arm and a leg, this means to be very expensive. To be very expensive. Wow, that robot costs an arm and a leg. It's very expensive.
Amazing job! Do you want me to make another English speaking masterclass? If you do, put let's go, put let's go in the comments. And of course, make sure you like this lesson, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And you can keep improving your English with this lesson right now.